Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I am certainly having a very good day.
What about your whole year, AP?
I'm having a very good year, man. This is just... Isn't it amazing, man? You just came, David. You just did the great service. You just came and helped. I don't want to praise you too much now, but you basically destroyed Daniel and Kikiju and thereby helped deal one of the greatest blows to Islam in debate history. Daniel and Kikiju is embarrassed, and then the next day, or 2 days later, we have Mohammed Hijab losing a court case which he himself started against Douglas Murray.
Yeah, as if Hijab hasn't had enough problems lately. He's like, let me have one more problem.
Man, things are really, really good. What do you think, David? What's up?
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Because we could tell last year was the worst year on record at that point. Last year was the worst year on record for Dawah. These guys were crumbling. You couldn't even find people willing to debate and so on. And then at the very end of the year, we all made our predictions about whether 2025 was going to be worse or whether they were going to make a comeback or be the same. Everyone on that live stream, if I recall correctly, said they think it's going to get worse. And it's amazing because there are all these reasons for thinking that it was going to get worse. There were all these things that we knew were happening, and we knew that these things were going to continue happening. So we knew Dawah was going to continue crumbling. But then there were all these things that we didn't know. Like we didn't know about the hijab scandal. We didn't know that he's going to get crushed during this lawsuit and stuff. There's all these things that we didn't know that are making it even worse than we could have possibly anticipated. Fun times, man.
Very, very fun times. I actually wanted to today talk again about the debate that you had, or one of the debates. I wanted to specifically talk about the second debate that you had with Daniel and Kikiju, which was also very, very, very good. Which was about, which was supposed to be about which religion represents Jesus more respectfully, Islam or Christianity. But Daniel and Kikiju turned the entire debate into Jews bad, therefore Islam good. So I wanted to have a look at that debate, but then just the news came in.
You gotta cover breaking news. That's why they call it breaking news, man. Breaking news. So the debate already happened. Could cover that anytime. But yeah, we got breaking news right now. Because we went live last night, we were talking some of it, and people were. Was that last night when people were asking, like, wait a minute, how can this guy just completely change the topic and should people put up with that and stuff? And I said it's basically, it comes down to the debater. If you're okay with that, and I'm fine with that. If you want to go, completely off topic and just let me make fun of your prophet and then preach the gospel and stuff while you babble, you can do that. But I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking about it earlier today, and I was like, I could totally see people just saying, we're done with Daniel Kikiju, man. If he's just going to go in there and say whatever he wants on any topic and agree to a topic and then just loosely connect whatever he really wants to talk about to the topic and talk about other things, I could totally see people saying, you know what, we're done with this guy. We're not setting up any more debates with him. He's done. He's blacklisted or something like that. And of course, I think Robert's supposed to debate him later this year. So, I mean, if Robert's fine with it, but I'll tell Robert, look, if You might want to watch this debate, because if this guy has no intention of actually seriously addressing a topic and he's just going to say whatever he wants, that if you want to go through with that, that's up to you. But if you don't, yeah, he'll say he's running, but no one's going to take it seriously, man. No one's going to take it seriously. If you say, we agreed to debate this topic, I have no reason to think that he's going to debate that topic, so I'm just not interested. But yep, I guess we might not be able to get Daniel to seriously address a topic and stay focused on the topic unless it's defending child marriage. So, but he's already been crushed on that. So not much to do, man. Not much to do left.
Alhamdulillah. 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 So, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, man. Just we're speaking about this earlier, just before just before I entered the studio to go live. This article from Germany came in, which is not a very great, not a very fantastic news source in terms of stuff that they normally publish and say. However, the largest news channel or source in Germany did a little investigation into these images that came out from Gaza over the last week or so, of people desperately, trying to get food and all that. And the investigation finds behind the scenes that that a photographer.
Hey, hold on. Isn't that what "build" means in German?
Yeah.
So is this like a photography news site, or that's like a news site that?
No, it's just a news site.
Okay,
it's just a news site. That's called.
Call themselves Picture.
So a photographer that is walking around with Hamas apparently staged these photos that were going around everywhere over the last week in order to amplify Hamas propaganda of oppression and starvation in Gaza. The article says this Gaza photographer stages Hamas propaganda, and they have it from multiple angles, including this one. As you can see here, you have these guys here, you have these Gazan people here, allegedly asking for food, trying to desperately get food, but as you can see here, there is no food here. They're just acting as if they're desperately trying to get the next batch of food.
But what if Allah's making it seem like there's no food?
Yeah. Pretty messed up stuff, but the story is developing, so I'm just gonna give it a rest for now and focus on what we're having on our plate. What we are having on our plate.
Hold on. Like, what does it take for people to realize that they're dealing with people who have who have no problem whatsoever lying, staging things? I mean, what do we have? We have Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk faking a hate crime against himself, then blaming us and condemning us, sprayed fake blood on himself. Oh, I've been stabbed, the persecution. So you got him. Then you had Lily J just do the same thing. They're conveniently, she's just having lunch and people are conveniently recording from multiple camera angles as someone comes up and throws a drink on her or something like that. No, do I need a bodyguard now? I'm being persecuted. And then all this like, what does it take to realize that you are dealing with the biggest bunch of liars the world has ever seen? How much evidence do you, and you'll still have their followers going, oh my goodness, this is so powerful. But everyone else can see it, guys. Everyone else can see it.
There's actually some really, really funny stuff going on regarding your debate with Daniel Kikichu. Kikichu says,
hang on. The only thing I recall seeing so far is someone said, that Fareed, someone sent me that Fareed made fun of him or something like that. Other than that, I haven't been paying attention to it because I'm pretty comfortable with the way things turned out.
So here's a post by Fareed. Fareed says David Wood argues that the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Ibn Abbas affirm the Bible.
I do affirm that. In fact, I do affirm that.
These two videos from my playlist refute both attributions. Muslims should familiarize themselves with responses to avoid getting caught with their pants down during a debate.
or on a playground.
So what he's saying is that Daniel Kikachu got caught with his pants down in the debate.
No one wants Fareed, like being straight up here, man. Because Fareed, straight up. At the end of the day, I like you. I love all you guys in the sense of like Christian love. Doesn't mean I like a lot of you guys. Like I do not like Daniel Hakikachu. I do not like Ali Dawa. I do not like Mohammed Hijab. Fareed, I like you because I don't know, you seem funny sometimes and you're not as nasty as some of the other guys and stuff like that. So let me just say, do not ever, ever, ever put that image in people's minds. And you think about what image you're putting in people's minds when you talk about Daniel Hakikachu getting caught with his pants down. No one ever needs to hear. Human beings think quite frequently in pictures. So if you say, like if I were to say to you right now, don't think about an elephant. As soon as I say elephant, like pretty normally, a picture of an elephant's going to pop in your head. Don't talk about Daniel Hakikachu, the world's leading defender of child marriage and pedophilia. Don't be talking about him getting caught with his pants down. Pretty gross. Pretty gross, buddy.
He says, leave it to this Wahhabi deviant to side with David Wood over a fellow Muslim. Fareed, maybe one day you can hit puberty and get the testosterone needed to face someone in a moderated debate, inshallah. I have to say,
that's a valid point.
I agree here with Daniel Kikachu. Fareed doesn't have the balls to actually debate with people in moderated debates. So that is true. I have to agree. For the first time in my life, I will side with Daniel Kikachu here in something.
Everyone, you'll never hear us say this again. Daniel Hakikachu is right about this. Hey, Fareed, and let me go and let me make this easy for you, Fareed. DebateCon coming up. If you want to show how a real Muslim debater should handle this topic and debate, exact same topic, Fareed, I'll be as generous as I possibly can, Fareed. You'll never get an offer like this again. I will tell you, Fareed. Agree to debate me at DebateCon on the exact same topic. I will use the exact same opening statement, except I'll change it to Fareed instead of Daniel. I will use the exact same opening statement so that you can be as prepared as a human being can possibly be prepared. Show us how a real debater would handle this. I don't know how I could be any more generous with a topic. Exact same opening statement. You could be as prepared as a person can possibly be prepared. Open invitation, Fareed. What say you?
What sayest thou? Never going to happen. Here is a post by some dude named Skeptic Warrior. They really need to understand what skeptic means. Victims of Hakikachu are holding a group therapy session, mourning in full panic mode, still recovering from the intellectual beatdown. Now, here's the funny thing. This is in reference to our live stream yesterday in which we gathered and even further analyzed how poorly Daniel Hakikachu did. And the thing is, in my mind, and in the minds of many other people, this live stream yesterday, where we responded to the debate, was one of the funniest live streams ever. I laughed so much. Apparently, to this Muslim guy, this is a group therapy session because because Daniel Hakikachu was so good at the debate. These guys really have no self-awareness at all. It's so funny. And Daniel Hakikachu then responds to this and says, "Retarded Avengers assemble." So, upon which I asked him, "You actually think you won the debate?" He then said, "If I were only to judge by how you all are panicking and coping, yeah."
Who's panicking? His own fellow Muslims are calling him out. Every live stream so far has been like a victory live stream, like There's a reason everyone went live on it. I was waiting, like, where are the Muslims going through all this stuff and praising Daniel's great arguments and stuff. If there were any, I haven't seen them pop up, but
I said fascinating. Please do more of these debates. Millions will benefit from them. And I'm very serious. If Daniel Hakikachu thinks that he won these debates, I encourage him to do more of these debates, to do more and more and more, because what could be better than such victories for Islam and for himself over and over and over and over again. Wouldn't it be amazing? I think he should have a debate about the Islamic dilemma every week.
Hey, I love that idea. Dude, no, like completely sure. Here's the weird thing, right? Like we challenge these guys, like you challenged what's his face to defend Islam and debate, is Islam true? And I always challenge these guys to debate whether Muhammad's a prophet. Thing. If they really thought they had a good case for Islam, a good case for the inspiration of the Quran, a good case for Muhammad being a true prophet, shouldn't those be the main topics they want to debate constantly? And if they think they can actually respond to the Islamic dilemma, shouldn't they be willing to debate it over and over again until they just like squash it and just crush it and destroy it? It seems, but the top, and keep in mind, all these debates we have, child marriage, Sharia, all this stuff, if you win a debate, if you actually can prove Muhammad was a true prophet, you've won all the debates. All the debates are secondary to showing that Muhammad is a true prophet. The Quran is the word of God. If you win those, you win them all. They won't go near those. They won't go near those topics. The main topics that they should be willing to defend, if they actually thought they could, they won't touch. And that should tell you something about what they think about their arguments for Muhammad and the Quran. They do not. It's like Yasser Qadi talking about hadith methodology. He says this can't stand up to academic scrutiny. We just have to believe it as Muslims. It seems like that's what they believe about Muhammad and the Quran, these kinds of topics. They can't stand up to scrutiny, but we just have to believe them as Muslims. And that should be sending a message to everyone. These guys do not believe they can seriously defend this. And that should tell us something.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. But anyway, enough about the pedophile advocate. Let's come to the other pedophile advocate. So, first off, let me actually take a few super chats here. Let me take a few super chats before we start. White Lightning became a YouTube member. Welcome to the club. Welcome and thanks for joining. Always good to see. Hey, here's my hero. Leaf is here. I got stopped on the street as someone mistook me for AP.
You poor man. Hope it wasn't a Muslim. Are you a pig pack?
Just kidding. I'll keep working on it. By the way, the name rhymes with safe. Okay, Leif. Fine, Leif. Whatever. I don't care.
I hate to correct you, but it's Leaf.
Yeah, it's Leaf. So Leaf of Havine Eternal. Leaf is the guy who impersonated me at the debate and asked a question for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's late.
He was kind enough to do that. So also has his own channel. I think he's starting to make videos, has one video which seemed very, very good. So shout out.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I didn't watch it yet because I was doing other stuff and it's been a kind of whirlwind of going here and there. But yeah, someone sent me that video too. So yeah, we'll check that out. And then if it's not good, we will say it's the worst video we've ever seen. Terrible, awful.
I sent it to you, man.
Oh, never mind. Okay, you're the one who sent it.
Holy Joe said, AP and Dawood, I want to amp up my belief to become a Catholic jihadi. Which church?
Stop waging jihad on Catholics, man. Don't do it.
I would recommend just finding one that will tell you to blow yourself up and then just go with that, I would say. What do you think, David?
No, if you want to become a jihadi, yep, that's how you do it.
See?
Hey, I found Saint so-and-so. He says, just blow yourself up in the name of Jesus.
A saint, blow yourself up. Stefan the Pellet, David Wood, what was the source you quoted about the background of Surah 3:7? Momo got schooled by Najran Christians. Oh, hi, AP.
Yeah, Daniel, this was shocking. Daniel didn't seem to know any of that stuff. The easiest place that I'm thinking someone would have access to, if you have the study Quran, I encourage people to get to the study Quran because it kind of it summarizes lots of things. But yeah, just go to Surah 3, read the chapter introduction, read the Surah introduction to Surah 3 in the study Quran, and then check out the footnote on Surah 3 verse 7. But you can open Ibn Kathir or something like that on the beginning of Surah 3. It tells you what that's about, right? The entire opening, I'm talking about dozens of verses of Surah 3. It's all a response to Christians. It's a response to the Christians of Najran who showed up and raised all these challenges to Muhammad. And then he had some of them he tried to answer and others he couldn't answer. And this is a very, very important point because One of the things that they challenged, and I mentioned this during the debate, one of the things they challenged him on was why Allah refers to himself as using plural pronouns. And the reason that's important for two reasons is Muslims now, if you bring up, why does Allah call himself we, if he's trying to emphasize his complete unity and so on? Why does he use plural pronouns? They'll say, oh, you idiot, any Arabic speaker would tell you this is the plural of majesty. Really? Well, why were the Christians of Najran confused by this? Like, they didn't think, oh, this is the plural of majesty. No one thought that. No one thought that. And when they went to Muhammad and brought this up, they brought up a bunch of issues, but that's one of the issues they brought up. But when that is brought up, and then, hey, why is Jesus the word of God? Don't you know what that means? These kinds of issues, that's the background for Surah 3, verse 7. And notice the response of Allah, because again, he responds to things he can respond to. Muhammad responds to things he can respond to. The other things, he just says, we don't know. Allah only knows these things. And why is that relevant? Every Muslim today will tell you, it's the plural of majesty. It's the royal we. Why didn't Allah say that? Instead, the response is, only Allah knows this. Okay, well, how do Muslims today know it's the plural of majesty and Muhammad and Allah didn't know it? They don't say that. They just say, you don't know. Only Allah knows. Same thing with Jesus being the word. He doesn't say, oh, here's what it means. It's just only Allah knows these things. So when Muslims today give a response and say, this is why it is, not according to Allah. Allah says you don't know. So if you're saying you do know, you're saying Allah's wrong. This is wild, wild stuff, man. So this is, dude, matter of fact, I should, thank you for bringing that up. And since Daniel requested it, guys, I'm going to make a video. This will be in the next couple of weeks, but I wasn't even thinking about it. But since it's an issue and other people are asking about it, and Daniel wanted the source and he doesn't even know the background of Surah 3, I will make a video about Muhammad's encounter with the Christians of Najran, and we'll go through the sources and stuff like that. Good topic. As a matter of fact, I mean, it's such an important topic for those kinds of reasons. Namely, Muslims today act like they know the answers when Muhammad didn't, his community didn't, and Allah didn't. And Allah says you don't know. You don't know these things. Only Allah understands these things. And so Muslims are claiming to have answers today that Allah himself and Muhammad himself did not have. So that would be a good video topic, since even Dawah guys are apparently ignorant of this mess.
Very, very funny. And he did the whole Mubahala thing with him, didn't he?
Yep. And then him and his entire bloodline died. Well, not he had a couple. He had some descendants and so on, but him and everyone else around him died.
You see, that's the proof. Lair Gill says, AP, we'll see you this weekend in London, God willing. Wonderful. I will be in London this weekend.
What's your address? Give us your address then. Tell us where you'll be.
Saturday, I am supposed to on Saturday, I'm supposed to join a panel with a bunch of other people organized by Maya Artusi in London. So anyone who got in touch with and who got tickets or who signed up for the event, I will see you guys there. We'll be happy to meet everyone. Still hoping to hear from you about Mission Imam Possible for the UK. Resend email. We'll check it out. I will check it out. Ida goes, and hello, missed you, both of you. It's always good to see you here, Ida. Hope you're doing well. And also made a super sticker. And I wanted to get to Eli. Eli said, love you both. Thank you, Eli.
Hey, Eli was at the conference.
Yeah, for the first time. Finally, I have seen him in person. And I have to say, it was very heartwarming. So, which David wouldn't understand because he's a psychopath. But for me personally, it was very heartwarming. Sorry, David. He came up to me. So Eli was at the conference at the church in Ohio. And what he did is he comes up to me and is holding a paper with that he just got with a bunch of, gospel verses and stuff like that on it. And he just wrote at the bottom of it, love you, AP. So he brings the paper to me and says, hey, look at this. Who am I? And I'm like, what? I don't get it. And he's like, look at it again. Who am I? And just says, love you, AP. And I thought, oh, you're Eli. I said, yes. And then he gave me a huge hug. It was very nice to meet you. So it was a great honor. And I was very happy to meet you, Eli. Very, very good. I was also very happy to meet lots of other people. It's always fantastic to get together with all these people with whom we interact online, and then they tell me who they are, and we actually sit down and talk to each other. It's very, 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 very nice. So it was great to meet you, and I hope to see you again in the future.
Hey, Eli doesn't brag too, but like everyone at the conference went out for dinner afterwards, and then he paid for everybody. All of them. I was about to pay for the people at my table, but then they said when I was about to pay, they go, that guy over there paid for everything. Yeah.
Awesome. He also said, come down with your family and I will host you and all that. So yeah, inshallah.
Yeah, he's a big giant house on a lake. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling some people that, but
it's like, now it's out. Now he has to move because of you. Ida says, take drink every time David says debate. Do it.
You will die. You will die before the end of this opening bit of the live stream.
Drake Nistrom, crazy that the leading defender of child marriage is accusing people of mental problems. That is the funny thing. That is very, very funny. It's very interesting. In the past, I was trying to push Daniel Kikechu to have debates with me on things. This time, I actually had several offers. I'm not sure if he knows about them, but so James offered something, and others offered something that I would have an exchange or a conversation or a debate with Daniel Kikechu. I outright said I'm not interested.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because,
I mean, why? Why are you going to debate this guy anymore? He's taken loss after loss after loss after loss after loss, and now he doesn't even try to stay on topic. And
the last time that I debated him was like it. I thought this was good enough. I have no further interest in debating this guy, but I really wanted this debate to happen between you and him. These two debate topics, and he got slaughtered. He got slaughtered in both of these debates, and he doesn't learn. So I hope he continues having these debates. I personally don't want to do it anymore, but others should.
We seriously need to. We need to. I'll probably make a video on this. Like who's going to be the next Dawa guy, right? Because look at how they're crumbling. They're crumbling. Their top guys are all crumbling. Shocker. Who could have foreseen this? How many times did I say Dawa guys don't last long? They come out and they each have their new way of doing things, and it works for a little while. Like Daniel's method was just citing a ton of sources that have nothing that he's completely lying about, and that'll work for a while. You'll get away with your new Dawa shtick for a little while, and then people will catch on, and it doesn't work anymore, and then you get humiliated and you start getting attacked by your fellow Muslims. So it's basically the batch of da'is from. Matter of fact, I've said they have sort of career spans of about 5 years, but yeah, the batch of that's it's kind of an average. Some don't last very long at all. Some might last 7 or 8 years and so on. But the batch of da'is from like 4 to 6 or 7 years ago and so on, they're all crumbling right now. They're all crumbling. So we need some new guys. The main thing we're looking for, if you want to apply as the next Dawa champ, and I will help you. I will help you become more popular. Here are the two things we're looking for. You either have to be a narcissist, could be a psychopath, but they tend to be narcissists. Narcissists tend to be the ones that do well for a while. You have to be a narcissist. And when I say that, I don't mean you're just a little narcissistic. I mean you have to be a clinically diagnosable narcissist, someone with narcissistic personality disorder. You either have to be that, or you have to be someone who's going to help us expose your Muslim sources, because you're going to be honest about some of the things in various ways. Keep in mind, you could be the biggest liar in the world. You have to do something. Like Daniel's one of the biggest liars in the world, but he will help us by being honest about certain things like wife beating and taking female captives and child marriage and stuff like that. So you could be, again, you are not going to be a popular da'i if you're not a compulsive liar. So that's just taken for granted. Narcissist, obviously, you're going to be a compulsive liar, but in addition to being a compulsive liar, you have to be honest about some of the stuff that's going to help us expose your religion. If that sounds like you, let us know. We will help you become popular for a little while.
By the way, since we are talking about breaking things, but earlier today, Tommy Robinson posted. Tommy Robinson was apparently last night.
Why is he speaking about himself in the third person then, man?
He was detained This was somebody else posting on his behalf when he was detained. He was detained last night and arrested by the police once again. Once again, they're going for Tommy Robinson because of the Online Safety Act and the Communications Act, because of two things that he posted, apparently. One is this here. And now, if you have children, I don't want your children to see this. But one was simply this here. It is directly in the report. They referenced what he posted. This here. F Palestine, F Hamas, F Islam, want to protest, F off to
Oh, so it's an
Muslim
X
country
post.
and protest.
They arrested him for an X post.
They arrested him because he posted this image here.
Wait, hang on. But don't you have all these Muslims saying the same thing about Israel and praising Hamas? Isn't that all over X?
Yep.
Yeah, they're consistent. That's the one thing the UK government is doing a good job at right now, exposing themselves and exposing their what they're really about.
They shouldn't be exposing themselves.
Yeah, stop being like Daniel Hakikachi with his pants down in a playground.
And another thing is this: Kobe Nazrul Primary School in London East End has been named as the first in the UK where none of the children's first languages is English. The school sits in a quiet street off the busy commercial road in Whitechapel, a district once synonymous with Jack the Ripper and Cray twins, and home to the nation's true cockney.
Oh, the Cray twins, man.
This is it. This is the post.
Those are bad dudes.
This is the post. This is what he posted. For this, the police summoned him.
Hey, I'll say this, AP. I'll say this. It just sucks that no one bothered to warn the people of the UK that this is what would happen. Oh, wait, we did for decades. Yeah. Tommy did for decades. And now you're doing exactly what all of us said would happen. And people are shocked. How could this happen? How could this happen?
The UK is really, really messed up. Man.
We told you what would happen and you called us racist. And now you reap what you sow.
Oh, alhamdulillah. But anyway, David, have you heard of Mohammed Hijab?
No, who's he?
Some jerk. Some dummy. Just wanted to pull this up here because here's a very handsome image of Douglas Murray.
That is a good picture. Come on, Doug. That picture's a little too perfect. Picture, your hair is too perfect. Everything is too perfect about that picture, man.
I wasn't going to
look like a regular person.
I wasn't going to read this article. In fact, I am not going to read this article. I just pulled it up because of this photo. So,
well, you can't because it said you have to subscribe or some crap.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just making up an excuse right now. So, but I am going to go through to the other article from the Spectator. The Spectator.
Where was that article at?
That was the Telegraph.
I hate that. Now that I want to read it, but they're going to make me subscribe.
I think you just have to sign up or something. That's it. Not pay. But here, so a little bit of background.
Look at that picture.
A little bit of background here. Mohammed Hijab, you see? You're finished, boy.
You're finished already. Look at me. You know you're done.
So Mohammed Hijab.
This man has real problems.
Mohammed Hijab.
How about you get on your knees?
Mohammed Hijab.
You're hiding, boy. You're hiding.
Mohammed Hijab.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Mohammed Hijab.
Are you sick in the mind?
Hang on. The same Mohammed Hijab who married a woman, said, yes, we'll have a life together, we'll have a family, we'll have a home, then banged her, and then said, yep, actually, you're just going to be my hotel wife. This is all a lie. I'm just using you for sex, but I'm so important to Dawa that you should just agree to be my sex slave, basically, for the rest of my life. And I won't provide anything for you except sex. And then when she tries to deal with this quietly behind the scenes and not expose him, he continues attacking her. And then when she exposes him, he works with a team of 75 da'is to lie about her and discredit her. And then all this gets exposed, complete humiliation, exposing him as a liar. Is that the same Mohammed Hijab or is that someone different?
The same one, yeah. with 75 days. You wanna be my sex slave? So this is the Mohammed Hijab. That Mohammed Hijab, he a while ago sued Douglas Murray and The Spectator, which is the publication that Douglas Murray often writes for, because of an article where Douglas Murray and The Spectator wrote about Mohammed Hijab, where Mohammed Hijab was outside rallying and was going and supposedly hunting down Zionists and Hindus. And they wrote about how he was an extremist, or in fact, let's see, the article is linked right here. Leicester, the downside with diversity.
Hey, anyone know how that's actually pronounced? Because that would look like Leicester or Leicester, but they have all these weird pronunciations. Like that might be, I don't know if that's Leicester or Leicester. Okay. It's probably Leicester, and you're Leicester. Like, there's too many letters for Leicester. That to be Leicester.
Leicester.
That's it. It's Leicester.
I knew it. They always have these stupid pronunciations where it doesn't match up. It's not as bad as French, but still pretty terrible. You're English. Speak English, guys. Anyway, sorry about that.
That's kind of fun. It's kind of funny when Mo goes to Leicester. It's Mo Leicester.
That would be funny if that was like someone named Lester there. Someone named Lester converts to Islam and then names his kid Mohammed. My name is Mohammed Lester. Mo Lester for short. I'm the next champion of Dawah. Guess what I'm going to defend? It's getting too easy, man. We need to find something else to do because they're making it too easy.
So, molester and the downside with diversity. Sadly, the most common response is simply to shrug and hope for the best. This is an article written in 2022 in which they were, I have to subscribe to read this.
UK, quit making us subscribe to crap.
In which they were in which he wrote about the struggles, the problems between Muslims and Hindus in London, and also largely covered, here you can see it, soon charming people like Mohammed Hijab, who rotates between presenting something, it goes here. So he wrote about Mohammed Hijab, about how Mohammed Hijab was an agitator, a street agitator who riled people up against the Hindus and so on.
Like a perfect description.
Mohammed Hijab was like, this is defamation. This is defamation. I'm going to sue Douglas Murray. It's defamation in it. The thing is, what people usually get wrong about defamation is that he probably thought, I'm going to sue him for defamation because he said I'm a street agitator and I'm this and I'm that, and I'm going to contest this. I'm going to demand money because he said wrong things about me. That's not really what a defamation case is about. Defamation would be if what was written about you is defamation, and if it actually caused harm, such as financial harm or psychological harm or physical harm.
And I'm not sure about how things are in the UK, but it would also, you have to know, it would normally be, you have to know that what you're saying is false or something like that. Whereas it doesn't seem like if you say Muhammad's rallying against Hindus and he's like, no, I say Hindutva, then you're like, okay, does the person who's saying that know that they're saying something false or something like that about you? Yeah. And then if it's irrelevant, if it doesn't cost you a bunch of money or something like that, it's like, well, so what? People said something that's not true. People say things that aren't true about other people all the time. What are you doing in court?
You see. And so he did decide to sue Douglas Murray, and then apparently wanted to find an excuse over what to sue and what to tell the court. So he did apparently decide to then claim that this article, which was allegedly defamation, actually caused him harm. Then he has to prove what harm exactly it caused. Mm-hmm. And he went there and actually started making claims about how it was very harmful. I lost money and this and this and that.
Do you have any idea how many motor wives I couldn't pay for because of this?
People actually got in touch with me a while ago, I think last year or so, to, if possible, if I have any input in this, to share a few things. But I shared one or two things. That's it. But it seemed to be very, very obvious that he's going to lose this case because he actually thought he has a case. This idiot Mohammed Hijab actually thought he has a case.
Here's something that's also important. And hats off to Douglas Murray and The Spectator. There is a tendency if someone brings a lawsuit to just pay them off and say you were wrong or something like that, right? Like you could pay someone some money that's less than the amount you will spend on the trial. Like, okay, we could win this trial, but we're going to spend piles of money fighting this in court. So it's easier to say, okay, here's $5,000, and we'll issue a thing saying we were wrong about this. But they know these guys would be parading it through the streets. You see, Mohammed Hijab destroyed them in court and forced them to apologize. So awesome that they actually decided to fight this and stand their ground.
Yeah,
and they won. And he's the one who's humiliated now. Some battles you just got to fight, even if it costs a big old pile of money. You got to fight it.
Inspiring Philosophy says the judge was so Islamophobic to hand down this verdict. Hey, if you want to join, by the way, let me know. IP, if you want to join, if you want to hop on, let me know. But the thing is, so the verdict is, as you can already see, that Mohammed Hijab, that there is no defamation. The judge dismissed it as nonsensical, but the judge also said some hilarious things, as we can, as it has been pointed out, such as one of the highlights here is, and this is going to be a big surprise. It's going to be a big surprise to lots of people, but the judge and the court actually said that Mohammed Hijab lied on multiple occasions in court.
What? Hijab? Hijab lie? No, that dude would never think he could get away with lying. Impossible. I've said this many times before, and we've talked about it before, but it's the same thing with Andrew Tate. Eventually when he has his day in court and so on, that dude has lied so much. But we said it's your followers are programming you to believe you can get away with these things. Why? Because you always get away with them. You can make up anything you want, and they just go, "Oh, this is so powerful," right? Hijab has the same thing. No matter what he says, he can make up anything, no matter how ridiculous. His followers will just mindlessly agree with him. Okay, so you understand your relationship between you and your followers like that, but you think, oh, I'm just really, really believable when I lie. And you don't realize if you're actually in a courtroom with lawyers and a judge who are extremely intelligent, they're not going to fall for your nonsense. They're just going to get exposed as an obvious liar, which sounds like exactly what happened here.
So you can see it pointed out here. The Spectator and Douglas Murray have today won a defamation claim brought by Mohammed Hijab. Lots of people might not know, but this is actually how Mohammed Hijab's name is officially spelled. His name is Mohammed Nabil Hijab, or just Mohammed Hijab. It's because it is still hijab, but this is usually how Egyptians spell it, or it's a common thing of in Egyptian Arabic dialect to use the G instead. Mohammed Hijab. So Mohammed Hijab, who lied on significant issues in court and gave evidence that overall is worthless. I looked through the court documents. I looked through some of what is said here. For example, I will occasionally bring it up, but here you have it. Here is the case. The link is, by the way, found directly in the article itself. But here you can see Mohammed Hijab versus the Spectator, and Douglas Murray as the second defendant. The claimant is highly educated. But here, as a witness, he was combative and constantly argumentative. Keep in mind, this paragraph, this document is from the perspective of the judge and the court.
Hold up. Go back to the part about him being highly educated and so on, has degrees and so on, because I'm wondering what that's about. Part of the reason for saying he's highly educated and a debater and so on would be, if he's lying, there can't be an excuse if he's just dumb or doesn't know what he's doing, or he didn't know any better, or he didn't know he was lying, or he's got mental problems or something like that. And saying, hey, this guy's he's a debater. He engages in debates. He's a public speaker, highly educated, and so on. Therefore, when he's lying in court, he knows exactly what he's doing, and we're not going to have any mercy on him for this.
The claimant is highly educated. He has degrees in Islamic studies, politics, and history and theology. He is completing a doctorate in philosophy of religion. He has undergone 11 years of Islamic training. He has memorized the Quran. He is fluent in classical Arabic and in Egyptian dialectical. He has published widely. He has multiple successful social media channels, most prominently YouTube, on which he has hundreds of thousands of followers. And his material, it's over 1 million.
Over 1 million. Get it right. Why are you trying to downgrade me? I will sue you for this. I will sue you.
The judge is
you, Piers Morgan, not introduce me as an academic.
And his material has been viewed tens of millions of times. He has monetized his output to secure an income. He is an accomplished public speaker and debater. He is tall and has an imposing physical presence.
So far, this sounds like me.
Now, this is, once again, keep in mind, this is from the perspective of the judge. This is the judge's final judgment here. As a witness, he was combative and constantly argumentative. I have to point out one thing, man. If you are going to court, don't you want to be on your best behavior? Because you can't bully
Seriously?
the judge. We know this is how Mohammed Hijab is, but you can't bully and command the judge. The judge is not going to give a toss about your tough guy attitude.
Yeah,
you want to be on
just
your
how
best
he's
behavior.
been trained to interact with people. He thinks that's always going to be successful.
He sought at every turn to debate with counsel, responding to questions with rhetorical questions of his own. That sounds exactly like him.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. That's not what this is for. But I guess he thinks, oh, this is a debate. I will humiliate you. I will humiliate the prosecution.
And he probably thought that. It's like, oh, I'm a champion. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I will just humiliate these guys all on the stand. Little side note.
Probably Jewish lawyers. I humiliate them.
Yeah, hijab. For future reference, when you're in court, because you apparently don't know this, you should have done the same thing you did with your mutter wife. When she was like, wait a minute, you seem kind of you seem kind of, he was like, no, that's just an act. That's just an act. I'm not really like that. That's just for show. And so that's what you should have been like. You should have gone into court and been a super humble, nice guy. And yeah, I kind of act like that for videos because that's just what impresses the idiots who follow me. But I'm not really like that. I'm a super nice, respectful man. And these guys are hurting me. That's what you should have done. Yeah, Hijab tried to use dawah tactics in court. Everything, the lies, the chest thumping, all of that. Yeah, he took everything he's learned, works in dawah, and thought, this is how stupid he is. Everything that works in dawah will work in a UK court.
Wow, look at this. Look at this idiot. Look at this dumb, imbecile idiot. Arguing his case rather than giving straightforward responses and denigrating the character of the second defendant, which is Douglas Murray, to whom he bears palpable personal animosity. I didn't expect this. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised.
He's gay.
I know that Mohammed Hijab is a complete idiot and scumbag and all that, but he actually did this in court. In court, he actually spent time attacking Douglas Murray personally. Are you? How dumb can you be, man?
Really dumb, apparently.
I am satisfied that he lied. This is the court. This is the judge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the judge speaking here. I am satisfied that he lied on significant issues with the consequence that his evidence overall is worthless.
Hold on. Could we apply the same thing to his entire dawah career? Could we, after seeing everything Mohammed Hijab has claimed about Islam over the years, could we say, I am satisfied that he lied on significant issues with the consequence that his evidence overall is worthless? Sounds exactly, if you ask me to summarize Mohammed Hijab's entire dawah career, it would be that exactly. And it's what the judge said about him in court.
I'm going to say one thing here, which is this is basically like taking scientific research, but instead, or like academic research, but instead taking a court case, a court document, a judge overseeing a case, and officially in print, in his own words, ruling that Mohammed Hijab, the most popular Dawah guy out there, is a liar, that he twists things, that his evidence which he uses is entirely worthless. This is a judge ruling this. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching right now, everybody paying attention to this, this should be used for all those who like to use everything that you can gather from these online discussions and debates. This should be used. A judge in the UK, not even in a case that somebody opened against him, but rather in a case that he himself initiated because he sued The Spectator and Douglas Murray. The judge overseeing this case officially ruled that Mohammed Hijab is a liar.
Hey, as a YouTuber, for anyone who wants to make a video about this, this is very simple. UK court confirms Mohammed Hijab is a liar. And just quote this paragraph right here. UK court confirms Mohammed Hijab is a liar. Short video, read that paragraph, and anytime someone brings up Mohammed Hijab, ever, share the link to your short video. Pretty easy.
UK judge rules that the most popular Muslim apologist is a liar. There you go. Hey, look at this, David. Mike Winger, king of the Islamic dilemma, here says, "Hey, David."
Great. It's funny that people make these silly little accounts because it kind of reminds me of what was that guy yesterday who came on, and then he got Orthodox Muslim, but he's like he's using his pictures like this. But anyway, then he got renamed from the Orthodox Muslim to the Orthodox Muslim. Yeah, so they're doing the same thing with Mike Winger.
Yeah, I'm satisfied that he lied on significant issues with the consequences that his evidence overall is worthless. Specifically, I am satisfied that he lied in respect of the event at Golders Green, which is, I think, the anti-Hindu thing, the counter-protest at the Rally for Israel, the seminar on Hinduism at the Sapiens Institute, his repudiation of vigilantism, his evidence as to the involvement of the Hindutva, his evidence about his choice of language in his speech, and his evidence in support of his claim for financial losses. I address each in turn.
In other words, he's saying he lied about everything.
The judge is saying that he lied.
Not on one thing.
Lied about event 1, about this event, about the third event, about 4, about 5, about 6, about 7. Mohammed Hijab lied about everything. That's what the judge
Wait a minute. If the judge is saying, hey, everything this guy said in court is a lie, what should we think when he's arguing for Islam, guys? The judge just said everything this guy says is a lie. Wow.
Which one was the event at Golders Green again? I don't think I entirely remember.
Don't know.
Golders Green, Golders Green. Let's see. Let's go to the article. The judge found that as a witness, he was combative. Blah, 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 blah. He made an untenable denial of vigilantism over his actions in Leicester. He made claims that were not credible when he said he was unaware of having given speech in front of a van displaying images of the Holocaust on another occasion in Golders Green. Is Golders Green the Jewish neighborhood?
Why are you asking me, man?
I'm not asking you. I'm thinking.
Am I a scholar of Golders Green?
Yes. Golders Green, is that the Jewish place? Yes, it is. Golders Green is the place with a prominent Jewish community and a great synagogue. That is where he went. That is one of those clips where he goes and calls for Zionists protesting for Palestine. Where he goes and is like, where are the Zionists? Where are the Zionists? And then somebody else says, the Jews. So that's the place where they went to specifically harass Jews.
Where's the place where he's like saying he's going to kill their dogs or something like that?
Might be part of that event. I think it was part of that event. He also described the Jewish people he encountered in Golders Green as Zionists without any objective basis. Okay, so let's continue. Golders Green. The video shows that the claimant was using the van as a prop. When this was put to him, he denied it. How could I use it? It's not mine. It's not my van. It's nothing to do with me.
I can't use something as a prop unless it belongs to me.
I didn't even know where the van came from.
I had no idea I was there. I had no idea where I was.
Later, he said, in respect of the images displayed on the van, I don't know anything about what is going on the van. The denial he was using the van as a prop and his assertion that the van had nothing to do with him was untrue. The claimant was indeed using the van as a prop to provoke passerby and to elicit a reaction. That is all demonstrated beyond argument from the video evidence.
So he's sitting there and what? Oh, no, it's coincidence. I'm standing in front of this van, just like you're sitting here. Look at Hijab sitting here. I don't know what the video is, but he's probably like, look at this. And then he's in court and what? I had nothing to do with that. What an idiot. What an idiot, man. Grade A idiot. Muslims, you're doing this to yourselves, man. You're picking the absolute worst people to be the representatives of your religion and the history going back to Muhammad. But this is the result. It does not last. This will happen to you over and over and over again.
Dude, are you freaking kidding me? I was trying to remember the footage. Here's the footage, man. Here's just a screenshot of it. This is the van in question. This is Mohammed Hijab. Mohammed Hijab went to court and actually claimed...
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know there was that.
He actually claimed that he was unaware of the van and that the van had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I conveniently stood here in front of this spot about didn't you learn from the Holocaust what's going to happen to you here? And I just, oopsie, I didn't know anything about that. What? I have no recollection of that moment.
Imagine that. Mohammed Hijab actually went to a Jewish neighborhood or a Jewish community with a van on which there were images of the Holocaust, then started talking in front of it, recorded it, put it out there. This image is brought in front of the court, and he's like, "Whoa, what van? What van?"
Oh, and
never seen that. Never seen
and
that.
the judge didn't believe him? Seems like he had an airtight case for his own ignorance here.
I've never seen that van. What? Wait, there was a van behind me? Whoa, I had no idea.
What? I didn't even look behind me. How would I know what's behind me? That's what Muhammad said after the night of Al-Zut. I don't know what's behind me. I have no idea what's behind me. This is their hero. This is the hero of Dawah. This is the hero of Dawah.
Can everyone see how ridiculous this is? Like, what? The van? No, I have nothing to do with that. No, I have no idea.
Coco Loco said exactly what I was thinking. This is Dawah's tactical genius. Yes, dude's a tactical genius.
Tactical genius. Let me see.
Tactical genius Mohammed Hijab. That's his name.
Let me see. I'm trying to find some other things. Look at this. Apparently, he had nothing to do with this.
No, nothing at all. So look, that's earlier in the day because the other one's at night, right? So that's him staring at it. That's him right beside the van. That's him. And then he, much later, hours later, it's dark. He's speaking in front of the thing when it's lit up. And then he goes into court. What? I have nothing to do with that. What? I had no idea what was behind me. How could I know?
That van? No, never seen that before.
What, the van? I don't even know what a van is.
Jewish brothers and sisters in humanity, those who are Zionists or those who are not, and just to ask how they feel about what's going on the ground.
They're making their little remark.
There's the van again. He's right in front of it.
Maybe he doesn't actually look at it, you know, because he's looking. Is that Smiles to Jenna?
Yeah.
Wait, that's the guy who.
That's the grapist.
That's the guy who grapes Ali Dawah in the mouth.
Yeah.
Hey, Smiles to Jenna, stop graping Ali Dawah in the mouth, even if he asks for it.
This is not just something that David is saying. He actually does grape Ali Dawah in the mouth.
He grapes him right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or they're giving their facial expression in disgust, and then they're moving on. What are you disgusted about? What are you disgusted about?
So I want to make that very categorically clear. Anyone that resorts to violence against anybody, you're a weak individual.
You can just put your viewpoint, whether you agree with it or whether you don't agree with
Here, this is the image, and he actually goes to court and tells the judge, "Well, that van, no, but no, nothing to do with me. What van? What
yeah,
van?
so you got his Dawa fans who
What
automatically believe any. Matter of fact, by the way, you could show this to his fans. You could show all these clips to his fans and say, and then after all of that, say, Mohammed Hijab says he has no idea what that van is, doesn't know what a van is, doesn't know what's behind him. You can show all that to him and say, do you believe him? And they'll go, yes, we believe him. Alhamdulillah, he speaks the truth. He's got the hikmah. And then he goes to court, and you seriously don't think Douglas Murray's lawyers went through every single video clip that has anything to do with this and were just ready with it? You seriously thought you were going to catch them off guard with your lie, and they were not just going to burn you up, and then the judge is going to believe you? You giant idiot. I mean, that is like this is like Muhammad being offered a meal by a woman whose family he just slaughtered and accepting it, right? It's the same level of insane stupidity. And here you have it, second only to the Prophet Muhammad Hijab stupidity.
this back.
The difference between us and them is that for them, they think life begins.
Life does begin.
We believe that death begins.
Death begins
We
too.
believe that life begins at death. We don't care about death. We love death.
Thank you for your time.
They think life begins, but we think death begins."
What an idiot. You can't even speak, man.
We love death.
Thank you for your time. Share and like this video, inshallah, and give your comments in the comment section.
Oh man, we love death. I need to have that on my soundboard, by the way. Let me save this here. All right. So apparently he was.
By the way, hang on. I just wanted to point out, like you're pointing out the pictures and stuff there. I guarantee you, all this stuff was played in court. We believe death begins. Death begins. Like you're in a room full of like lawyers and a judge, and every stupid, deranged thing you've ever said is put in front of them, and you chose to do it. You're the one who wanted to be there in court, right? This wasn't someone suing him and he has no choice. It's him bringing out the lawsuit where he's going to have to go into court, and all this stuff is going to be paraded in front of people, and he thinks he's going to get away. What an idiot, man.
I can already imagine what he said whenever they played something of him, like him saying, "We love this." What he said is,
that's where you're going, wasn't it?
Yes.
It wasn't me.
That's what I was going to say.
I guess great minds think alike.
Oh, they do indeed.
You're supposed to, hey, when I say, I guess great minds think alike, you're supposed to say, I was just thinking the same thing. That's what you do.
But I wasn't thinking the same thing. Yeah. Let's see. In fact, our dear friend Yosef from Israel Advocacy Movement put some of the things together here. There was a significant moment which is about the dog that also comes up in the court documents.
It was terrifying. The boys had to be rescued by the police as bottles and eggs rained down on them. Mohammed Hijab then threatened a police officer that he'd kill the boy's dog if he saw it again.
However, when those Zionists came in with their dogs, that was an act of provocation. So what we're saying now, and I'm making it very clear so everyone understands, if those dogs come close to us again, we will see it as an act of aggression, and we will kill those dogs. We will put them down.
Hijab and Dawa.
How are you going to kill the dog, man? You're going to stomp it to death? Or you're just going to sit on it? What are you going to do, Hijab? How are you going to kill the dog?
This is just what really pisses me off about the UK. Here is this guy saying, if those dogs come near us, we will see this as an act of aggression, and we will kill those dogs. He doesn't have the right to do that. This is illegal. You can't just say, oh, they came near us, so we killed them.
Yeah, because why couldn't you say that about a person? If those Zionists come near us, we will kill them. Like, why can't you do that?
And the police didn't actually do anything about this when he made this statement?
Yeah, but... so they don't do anything to him, but if Tommy Robinson posts he has a problem with Islam or something like that, they arrest him.
Yeah.
This is your country, UK.
Well.
What? idiot. This is like beyond. Like if you were to say, like, everything we know about hijab, we know how dumb this guy is, right? I mean, we've seen it over and over and over. Tactically speaking, he is a tactical moron. But if you said he's going to go into court and say, what the van? I don't know. You would think, no, come on, he's not that stupid. He couldn't. We know he's dumb, but not that dumb, right? Wrong. This is
Moreover, the claimant's evidence that he attended in good faith to engage in a debate with the Zionists is not credible. His conduct was grossly offensive and disingenuous. It was designed to cause an adverse reaction and to elicit material for his social media channels. The people who he engaged in conversation appeared from the clothing they were wearing on what was the Sabbath to be Jewish, but the claimant was in no position to know their political views or their attitude towards the conduct of Israel's military activities in Gaza. He sought to portray their disinclination to speak to him discreditably. It was nothing of the sort. It was an entirely understandable reaction from individuals who were going about their daily business, in some cases with their children, who, contrary to the apparent attitude of the claimant, were under no obligation to engage with him. So he was going about how Zionists, they were provoking me because they wouldn't talk to me when I was like trying to talk to them.
Trying to have a calm conversation about killing their dogs in front of a video that's telling them they're about to have another Holocaust.
Filthy Zionists, I asked them to talk to me and they just keep walking. What's wrong with them? And the judge rightfully says they were going about their day and they were under no obligation to talk to this guy. But this guy thinks he has the right to talk to them. The rally for Israel, the claimant denied that he was aware of the throwing of eggs in bottles. That denial is not credible. It is plainly visible and audible on the video footage, and the claimant was in the immediate vicinity. In his witness statement, the claimant says a protester brought a dog close to him so that he felt threatened. That is not consistent with what he said to the police officer about dogs, plural. The claimant said in his oral evidence that the dog that is shown in the video was jumping on him and that it was going to bite him. That, again, is not credible, making every allowance for the fact that the video does not show everything. The dog in the video is held between the legs of a man who is standing still. The claimant's oral evidence on the point is inconsistent with both his witness statement and what he said to the police officer. The claimant had no basis for his inflammatory threats to kill dogs or to suggest that dogs had been brought to the event as a provocation by Zionists. So,
these are people walking down the street. Someone's walking their dog, stops to listen to this idiot, got the dog between his legs. They're bringing dogs to murder me. Idiot.
This sounds exactly like Mohammed Hijab.
Yep.
The only apparent purpose of the claimant doing so was to raise the temperature in what was a volatile confrontation where violence had already erupted. He then further raised the temperature by speaking about vengeance and life beginning at death.
Life beginning at death. Kind of. At first he just said life begins. So he's kind of right. Life begins.
He denies that he was encouraging violence and claims that the suggestion that he was doing so amounts to a failure to understand the English language.
He did his language thing. You don't know English. You don't know English. He always does that.
He actually accuses the court of not understanding English. Imagine being such. This is. It's very.
You're going to accuse Douglas Murray.
It's very clear that this guy has
English speakers ever.
He very clearly has a narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh, obviously.
I don't see any other explanation for this. That this guy actually sits there, and he's not completely stupid. He's not a complete imbecile. He can think, he can reason. But this guy actually sits in court and actually accuses the court of not understanding English. You're not retarded. You're just uncontrollably narcissistic.
That is a good assessment. But you can call him retarded.
Yes.
Anyway.
And that his speech clearly has eschatological and theological implications. Yeah. I could also say, I'm going to kill you and then you will go to hell. That also has theological and eschatological implications.
Sounds like it. No, you don't understand English, AP, because you're Turkish, you dumb imbecile. Stop being such a pusillanimous. You remember that he used it as a noun because he's an idiot.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Despite his protestations, the claimant was not genuinely speaking to explore matters of theology and eschatology with the group of masked men that he was addressing. God, this is just amazing, man. The video is plain. He was deliberately acting irresponsibly, raising the temperature of a volatile and potentially dangerous situation with provocative and inflammatory language. Man. It's amazing, isn't it? It is absolutely amazing. Let's see, where else? 50. Sapiens Institute. The claimant's key points in this case is that his speech concerned the Hindutva, not Hindus, and that nothing he said. I wonder if there's a link to this actually in here anywhere. If there's anything that references where we can view this kind of stuff. Sapiens. Let's see. They probably have transcripts of everything. Sapiens. I am satisfied. No, that's it. Oh no. Okay, it goes further to the beginning. Sapiens. The claimant set up the Sapiens Institute, which he describes as an academic institute. On 26 April 2022, he uploaded a video of a seminar at the Sapiens Institute concerning Hinduism, which he chaired. I guess we can go to the original article to see what exactly that is about.
Hey, why hasn't Hijab posted about this lawsuit?
It's not here, but might be somewhere else. I don't know. Hindutva. Anyway, so apparently in that video he was making fun of reincarnation and things like that. Was also talking about talking in inflammatory ways about Hindutva. So the claimant's key point in this case is that his speech concerned the Hindutva, not Hindus, and that nothing he said demonstrates an intention to ridicule Hinduism or Hindus. Any evidence of the claimant ridiculing a central tenet of Hinduism would be damaging to his case. The claimant maintains that at the Sapiens Institute event, he was discussing Hinduism to seek to learn more about the faith as a humble learner.
Humble learner? That's... Dude, you can't, first of all, Hijab, AP is the most humble. You can't even use the word. It's already right there in his title. AP the most humble. Second, dude, you're the most glaringly obvious narcissist on the planet, with the possible exception of Andrew Tate.
He has to have been aware that this was... I'm pretty sure that he was being sarcastic in court. Well, I was just learning. I was just trying to learn about Hinduism as a humble learner. He was like trying to mock the court, maybe trying to mock the judge.
Me so humble. Me so humble. Me so humble.
I mean, everybody knows if he said this in front of Muslims would start laughing.
Yeah, you know, I'm a humble man.
It is uncomfortable to watch parts of this video. Wait, this is the judge.
It's the judge saying it's uncomfortable to watch this video. That's how bad it is.
Those engaging with the claimant appear to be doing so earnestly and openly to assist him to understand tenets of Hinduism. For his part, there are times when the claimant barely seeks to hide his contempt for what they are saying. He openly smirks. He asks questions that might be expected of an immature school child.
Well, yes, he's school child because he's being humble.
In a religious studies lesson, but which are completely inconsistent with a serious discussion. This is the judge speaking. I remind everyone. He openly smirks. He asks questions that might be expected of an immature school child in a religious studies lesson. This is the judge saying this. But which are completely inconsistent with a serious discussion in a postgraduate academic theological seminar. On a Hindu deity, is she the one with the blue skin? Is she the one with 4 arms? What does an animal have to do to get promotion? What would you choose to be, a bear or a gorilla? I would rather be a bear, because if a bear and a gorilla had a fight, the bear would win. I reject the claimant's account that these were genuine inquiries.
These are genuinely inquiries. I was wondering, would you rather be a bear
or
a gorilla?
It was part of the education. I was wondering if it would be more beneficial to be a bear.
A female bear?
Or a gorilla.
I'd rather be a female bear, so I know what it's like.
What a religion, man.
Guys, serious. Is it a coincidence that these are the guys who become the heroes of Dawah?
Let's see, 57. In respect of his speech, the claimant laid great emphasis on his phrase, if they believe in reincarnation. He strenuously maintained that this was a genuine use of a conditional clause, which demonstrated that he was referring to the Hindutva, not Hindus.
Well, that doesn't make any
What?
sense. If they believe in reincarnation, what are you talking about?
What?
That's not Hindutva specifically.
Okay. This is so bizarre, man. Even the claimant in his evidence stopped short of contending that all of those who were on the street in the opposition to the Muslim men were the Hindutva. The fact is that the claimant was in no position to make a reliable assessment of the political or ideological views of each of the individual men who were involved in the disturbances. He may have believed, based on the incomplete and partial information he was accessing, that some of these involved in the disturbances were sympathetic to what he describes as the Hindutva ideology. But I do not accept that he genuinely believed that those involved could reasonably be described in block as the Hindutva. He denounced the opposing faction of Hindu men as the Hindutva for his own rhetorical and propaganda purposes, just as he described the Jewish people he encountered in Golders Green as Zionists. This judge understands what the majority of people today online do not understand, that Mohammed Hijab and people like him, when they refer to people as Zionists, do so deliberately because they mean Jews, but they find it more acceptable to simply say Zionists, for example, when they encounter Zionists.
Bad week for Dawah, man. Bad week for Dawah.
Similarly, he refers to the Hindus that he encounters, but refers to them simply as Hindutva to mask his hate. The judge actually gets it.
Smart judge. This judge seems to understand everything that's going on.
Yep. He knows what's up.
This judge rocks. I agree.
In respect of his speech, the claimant laid great emphasis on his phrase, if they believe in reincarnation. He strenuously maintained that this was a genuine use of a conditional clause which demonstrated that he was referring to the Hindutva, not Hindus. Now, I wanted to read this to try to understand further, and it gets even dumber now. This doesn't make any sense. His reasoning was this: all Hindus believe in reincarnation. It would therefore be redundant to ask if a group of Hindu men believed in reincarnation. Thus, the use of the word if shows he was not referencing Hindus.
But I said if they believe in Guys, keep in mind, he's using the exact same argument tactic that would work 100% of the time with his idiot followers. If he's, well, the conditional blah, and they would just not understand anything, and they would go, oh, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He must be speaking the truth. And it's exactly the sort of thing that a judge, a lawyer, anyone with an IQ of above 100 would be going, do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm a are you actually treating me like a moron if you think I'm going to believe what you just said? And that's what he doesn't get. When you're saying this to a judge, it's an insult. You're basically insulting the judge's intelligence the entire time, thinking that's a winning strategy in court.
This reminds me of it reminds me of basically every interaction I've ever had with Mohammed Hijab. But there was this one instance where somebody was responding to my video in which I talk about the bloody spread of Islam, and in my video I mentioned that the way Islam spread on most occasions, or many occasions, was basically coercion and was basically forced, because they threatened people with death. People didn't have much of a choice. They had three options: convert to Islam, become our subjects, or die. That's what I said. Mohammed Hijab came into the comment section of that video and then said about me, he needs to be consistent with himself. He says that they have no choice, but then lists three choices. Now, he is mocking and thereby glorifying the forced coercion and conversion of non-Muslims with that rhetoric right there. He thinks this is okay to do. It's acceptable to do, right? The thing is, I expect him to do dumb stuff like that when he speaks to regular people like us. But he actually goes and does it in front of a court as well. This is what Mohammed Hijab is. He is so narcissistic that he actually believes, oh yeah, I have a way with words. I have a way with words. I can say things. I can make them sound smart. I can tell.
My followers they tell me I sound so smart.
I can tell the judge. I didn't call you stupid. I just said you're not smart enough to understand my elevated English language.
You don't understand English, you giant moron. That's not an insult. I just looked up, man, he's getting crushed on Twitter, but I looked up the latest just to see what people are saying. The first one that popped up said, it is apparent from the High Court judgment that Mohammed Hijab was deemed an unreliable witness, displaying traits commonly associated with inbreeding. Oh, man. People are brutal, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, all Hindus believe in reincarnation. If it would therefore be redundant to ask if a group of Hindu men believed in reincarnation, thus the use of the word "if" shows he was not referencing Hindus.
That doesn't make it, dude. That doesn't make any sense. Hindutva would be a subgroup of Hindus, right? So if Hindus believe in reincarnation, and Hindutva is a group of Hindus, then why would you use a conditional as if you don't know what they believe? I'm guessing the judge saw right through that.
And the judge was like, yeah, I don't buy that, man. Instead, he was talking about the Hindutva. He maintained that not all those who subscribe to the Hindutva ideology are Hindus.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
It therefore made sense in that context to use the conditional clause because there are some Hindutva who are not Hindus and who may not believe in reincarnation. The claimant made great play of the fact that he gave this explanation in an interview before litigation was initiated, thereby proving that it was not an ex post facto rationalization to gain a litigation advantage.
So, in other words, in preparation for court, he made sure he had the interview beforehand. You see, this was not just for court. I said it last week.
He actually tried to trick the judge with this. I already said this before the case. You see. The claimant's explanation is nonsensical.
Oh, man.
I love this judge, man. I love this judge. Wait, what's the judge?
Look at what he says. Look at what he says. I just read it. Look at what he said.
Wait a second.
Look at what he says. It's the funniest thing ever, man.
The claimant's explanation is nonsensical. When asked to name anyone in the world who subscribed to the Hindutva ideology but who was not Hindu, he was able to give only one name: Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Hero of Dawa, man. He's the best. He's the best of the best. Oh, man. Wait, so that's the one, right? So is just to ask, was Netanyahu there? Like, so is that who he's talking to? Oh, boy. Oh.
Oh my God.
Well, can you name me? Can you name me someone who adheres to Hindutva ideology but's not a Hindu? Yes. Bibi Netanyahu. Anyone else? No, just Netanyahu. He's the only one. I was thinking that he was there, maybe disguised.
It continues. It continues later. Despite spending some considerable time thinking about it, he came up with two further equally incongruous names: Tommy Robinson and Douglas Murray.
Oh, man. Oh. That's the three right there. Oh. Those are the three Hindutvas. Three Hindutva brothers. Oh, man. We can just read this every day, man. The world is a better place when we read this judge's ruling, man. This judge is awesome. I hear some stupid legal rulings coming out of the UK, man. This judge should be whoever is the most important judge in the UK. I don't know how their system. This should be this guy should be on their version of the Supreme Court.
The judge is like, so you're referring to other Hindutva who are not Hindus. Can you give me an example for those Hindutva? Yeah.
Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson and Douglas Murray.
The guy right there. The gay dude.
He's gay.
He's gay. He's gay and in football. You should agree with me.
I find it so awesome, man. The claimant's explanation is nonsensical. The reality is that those who subscribe to Hindutva ideology are overwhelmingly Hindu. There were no Hindutva, or at least no significant numbers of Hindutva in Leicester who were not Hindus. The phrase, if they believe in reincarnation, was not a genuine conditional clause that sought to distinguish Hindutva from non-Hindu Hindutva. It was a rhetorical device intended to inflame sectarian tensions by inviting ridicule of a central tenet of Hinduism. The judge is just... Okay, so the judge's name is Mr. Justice Johnson. That's him.
He is now my favorite judge on the planet. Lots of judges in this world, ladies and gentlemen. This is my favorite judge on the planet.
Which one is it?
Except for maybe Judge Judy.
Is it Jeremy Johnson? Which one is it? Is it Jeremy Johnson? Jeremy Johnson? Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy Johnson.
Songs will be written about this judge.
Jeremy Johnson. I don't want to judge too quickly. So no pun intended. Man. Even on its own terms, the claimant's rationalization does not work. That is because on his analysis, he did not choose to ridicule the Hindutva generally as a group. He chose only to ridicule those Hindutva who were Hindus. So he was thereby ridiculing Hindus as opposed to non-Hindus.
Oh, yeah. So keep that in mind. Did you catch that, everyone? So He says, I'm only talking to the Hindutva. And what were you mocking them about? Belief in reincarnation? So that would just be Hindu belief. You're mocking Hindu belief. This dude's an idiot, man.
That's the funny thing. This entire discussion here about if they believe in it's very clear he's referring to Hindus. The claimant's evidence was that when he said we got the truth, he meant that justice was on the side of those who he was talking to, as opposed to the Hindutva.
Oh yeah, that's what he means when he's like, we got the hawk and the hikmah, we got the hawk and the hikmah. I just mean that.
I do not accept this explanation. The words "we got the truth" followed immediately by the ridiculing of a central tenet of Hinduism. Convey, and I am satisfied, were intended to convey that Islam was superior to Hinduism. I
just want to. Am I understanding this correctly? Because we're sitting there going, well, why wouldn't you be able to, mock Hindu beliefs or something like that? It's because he's suing. Am I correct? He's suing the Spectator because they said he's attacking just Hindu stuff in general.
Yeah.
And he's suing them. No, you're defaming me. I was only meant Hindutva. That's all I was saying. And so you defamed me. Like, this is the basis of his lawsuit. And the judge is like, well, you're clearly not just focusing on Hindutva, and therefore your lawsuit fails. They didn't defame you. It's exactly what you were saying.
That's a good thing to point out. So for those who do not know, or who at this point might misunderstand it, he's not trying to, in front of a court, get away or deny mocking Hindus because the court wants to charge him or whatever for mocking Hindus. He is trying to make it look like the Spectator, and specifically Douglas Murray, defamed him when they claimed that he is that he spreads hate and division and so on. It's not a crime. He simply wants to portray it as defamation, which is why he tries to twist things that he did in order to make it look like, oh, they defamed me. I actually didn't say these things. So all the court needs to do here is, okay, let's look at the evidence.
Hang on. So
it seems you did say these things,
dude. So seriously, he's looking for some reason to sue.
Yeah,
Douglas Murray and the Spectator, because keep in mind, at the end of the day, he's obsessed with controlling what people can say, right? That's it. Like back when he was like, "I'll go after your wives," that was all an attempt to control what people say. And here, lawsuits are becoming another way to warn people against criticizing him. He's upset because he's a narcissist. He's obsessed with controlling people and not allowing them to criticize him. So he's desperately trying to find something that he can say, "No, they defamed me." And what he comes up with apparently is, "They said I was insulting Hindus, but I was only criticizing Hindutva, you see? And I lost millions of dollars over this," or whatever he says. "And I lost tons of money over this." And the judge is like, "Come on, dude. Come on." What a dope.
Yeah, financial losses. No, this is very, very funny. This now gets very, very funny. But before we get into this, I am aware of what this one says. But before we get into this, I want to take a few super chats because it's going to be too much here. But this is where it gets really, really good. The Samurai Hobbit says, "What is this crap in Surah 9 about Jews seeing Ezra as the son of God? I'm a Jew. I've never heard of that." It's one of my favorite points about where I mock the Quran over. The Quran does say in chapter 9, verse 30, that the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. This is, of course, completely made up. It's a lie. It's stupid. No Jew believes that Ezra is the son of God. No Jew has ever believed that.
Jews.
So the Quran is engaging in what is called an ignorant remark about Jews. Probably because some Jews were mocking Muhammad and Muhammad took it seriously. No, I could expect that. You could totally use that as a Jew or as a non-Jew as an argument against the Quran. I think it is one of those things that proves that the Quran is false. Very simply. Leif says, "It's let's pretend I'm Jewish and this is an under-the-table payment. Oops, I guess Daniel was right." Man. Sahih Bukhari 5134 said, "Daniel Kikichu calling someone low testosterone is rich considering he's a patchy neck bearded pedophile." That's very, very rude.
It's pretty Islamophobic too.
Very rude.
But everyone should look up that reference, Sahih Bukhari 5134.
What is it?
It's about Muhammad and Aisha. Even better is the one before it, especially if you get the Darussalam edition, which includes the chapter heading.
Narrated by Aisha. That the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. Hisham said, "I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet for 9 years till his death." That's the reference. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, powerful. Corey Mahler will challenge you to Mubahala. You see? Who is that again? Is that the Nazi guy?
No idea.
Are you going to go to Speaker's Corner? Safe travels. No.
Do not go there.
Govan says you can only die when you have died. Dizzle, I read till we have faces. Did you read Till We Have Faces? What's Till We Have Faces?
Yep. My favorite fiction book. What? That's C.S. Lewis' book. When people ask my favorite book.
Islamist and Dean response for new Dawa guy. Yeah.
By the way, completely serious. Like, I know I joke around, but we are looking for the next batch of Dawa guys to carry the torch for the next 4 or 5 years. I don't even know if they'll last 5 years anymore because it's easier to expose them so they unravel more quickly. So they might end up having like career spans of like 2 to 3 years once they really take off. But I've seen a couple Dean Responds videos that we responded to. I still don't know which one is Dean Responds and which one is Orthodox Muslim, except for Orthodox Muslim doing the duck lips face. But yeah, I'm not sure about those guys. I'm not sure if they're narcissists, and I'm not sure if they're going to check the boxes for someone who can be the next top Dawa guy.
I'm going to make my profile picture like this. Michelle B says, "Y'all still excellent. Keep up the great debating. Thanks for educating the world on the issues with Islam. May God's peace be with you both," and with you, Michelle. and with you.
Hey, matter of fact, yeah, she's pointing out, like, we're here, right? Now think about this. The Christian apologists who are dealing with Islam in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2000, we're still here.
They're dead.
Where are the Dawah guys from back then? Where are the Dawah guys from 2010? Where are the Dawah guys from 2013, 14, 15? They're all gone.
They're all gone.
Where are the Dawah guys from 2018 to 2020? They're coming completely unraveled right now, and they're on their way out. How are people not getting this? I mean, I'm sitting here explaining it to people over and over and over again, and they still don't get it. These Dawah guys still don't get it.
Last long. Dawah guys don't last long.
You got it. Come on, man. You're the music man.
I'm going to do it. Dawah guys don't last long. What is a counter-argument to Muslims and leftists' charge that New Testament verses denoting Jesus' divinity were not part of the original text and were added later? You can make that argument about some verses, possibly, and can argue that. You can't make that about other verses. There are enough in the New Testament.
Yeah, you have to show it. You have to show, hey, here's our earliest manuscripts. It's not in the earliest manuscripts. You're welcome to try that. But generally, they just lie and they say it's not in. And I don't know what it takes to convince people that these are the biggest bunch of liars ever. But
and once again, the earliest New Testament texts, which we can historically date, clearly show that the apostles believed in the divinity of Jesus. Mm-hmm. It's clear as that.
Yeah.
Paul makes it very, very explicit. You
Clear
can't get clearer as that. You cannot get clearer as that. I heard one thing about in Romans where he says that Jesus is God, about his explicit statement. It might have been different. It might have been a mistranslation, but nothing really holds up. It is very, very clear. The earliest Christians very clearly and unequivocally believed that Jesus is God, which is why not even skeptics like Bart Ehrman deny this. AP, did you get a tour guide for London? Ask Hatoun. I should. Hi Bars Barbecue said, God bless you both, and you too. Hi Bars Barbecue. When do you think the UK will go full revolution? Tomorrow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how was Ohio Sea Conference? 9. I can't give 10. 10 is only for God. So, what do you think, David?
It's pretty good. Good conference.
Good.
The only reason I wasn't is I wasn't at a bunch of it because I was actually like still working on my opening statement for the first debate, and so I missed a ton of it. So I can't. It could have been someone could have given the dumbest presentation ever. I would have known because I didn't see all the presentations.
Nice.
What I saw, super based.
Orthodox Muslim said, you know what we don't lose though? These lips.
Lips don't lie.
Yeah. I need
Duck
to show
lips
this,
don't
man.
lie.
I need to show this. I posted about it, but for all those who haven't seen it, I just need to show this, man. Did you see what Orthodox Muslim posted on his YouTube channel?
No. On what planet would I have any?
So he came into our live stream.
Look at the lips, man.
and we made fun of his lips in good faith, of course.
Because he's doing duck lips.
As Mohammed Hijab would say, in good faith. He then went back to his channel and says, you know what's super hilarious? Mr. Michael Jones from Inspiring Philosophy is hosting a live. In the live, I was brought up and they said I ran from AP.
By the way, little background. Does that have any connection to reality, what he just said there?
No.
Okay.
IP was rhetorically saying, well, if he claims that I ran from him when I did this, then that means he also ran from AP because he did this. So IP wasn't actually saying that he ran from me. He was just making a point. I was notified by his... Yeah, right. You were notified by his subscriber. You were watching, man. You jumped in immediately. You were watching live. I was notified by a subscriber and showed up to the chat immediately and called them all out. They started backtracking.
Did we backtrack?
We didn't.
No, we just clarified because if you didn't understand it, then you're stupid. And sometimes we have to explain things for stupid people.
But then look at this. And took back the absurd claim that I'm running. They spent the next 15 minutes talking.
We didn't. If IP is running, then you're running from AP. We stand by that. If that's what you mean by running, then you're running.
But look at this. They spent the next 15 minutes talking about my lips and my profile picture.
That's on you, buddy. You do don't send us a duck lips picture and then and then complain that we comment on you doing duck lips, man. By the way, tell me when you're going to change. Tell me when you're going to change your profile pic. Orthoduck lips Muslim.
And don't call yourself Orthodox, man. You don't have
Orthoduck lips. That's what it's not. It's Orthoduck lips.
Yeah. It was IP, David Wood, AP, God, Logic, Chris. It was them.
This is the stuff that cracks me. It's like Daniel. It's like Daniel complaining when he's sitting there insulting the audience, and then they start heckling him a little bit. And he's like, "James, can we do something? I don't know what to do." They're all heckling me. You got these guys. We're gonna subjugate the world. Islam will dominate the world. We're gonna kill the kuffar. We're gonna take your women as captives. You say one word of criticism. Hey guys, look, they said something mean. You are the biggest bunch of sniveling cowards and crybabies I've ever seen in my life. Orthoduck lips Muslim.
He then went,
Dope.
"We're calling you." Then I went into the comment section here and said,
wait, what's it? I still don't know what he's challenging us on. What is he challenging us on?
No
So what's he saying?
We can discuss Islamic dilemma, Prophet Muhammad, Bible, Tawheed, Trinity. Don't be a kiddie.
Wait. Hang on. He said he's willing to debate the Islamic
I don't
dilemma.
want to read this. I don't care. I don't want to read what he said.
I'm saying I'll agree to debate him on the Islamic dilemma
We
and
agree
Muhammad,
debate
whether
on
Muhammad the
anything.
Prophet. I accept.
We agree everything. I will debate every single topic listed here with him. I went here and said, "You were notified by a subscriber, but commented as soon as we mentioned you. Dude, at least be honest."
Yeah,
Nobody said you ran from me. IP made a joke. Pretty sure you're supposed to debate me at DebateCon. Topic is Islam true?
And he's not going to run.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be at DebateCon. I already told James that I will be away overseas. This was planned a long time ago. The last time that he was supposed to debate me in person, he said, "Oh, I'm going to be going somewhere." This time at DebateCon, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be overseas." I don't know, man.
Where does this guy live? I know one of them lives in Australia, but I don't know who's who.
He's here in Canada somewhere.
Oh, well, okay. Hey, Orthodox Muslim. James does multiple debate cons per year. So if you just conveniently are out of the country at that time, totally understandable. Although I have to say, if you were to challenge IP to a debate and he said, "I'm out of the country," you go, "Oh, he's running from me. What a coward."
Hey, look at this.
Fine. Orthodox Muslim. Do the next debate con. We'll do all the debates. And we'll keep it simple. We can do a Trinity debate. We can figure out who's doing what. We'll do a Trinity debate. You could have that 2-on-2 or something like that. You could debate AP on is Islam true, and debate me on the Islamic dilemma. Boom, problem solved. Now quit whining. Quit whining. What?
Stop ducking. I'm going to debate you on is Islam true.
Stop ducking.
He actually said stop ducking.
He said, "Why'd you say ducking, man? How do you do it? How? You not only post the duck lips picture, but then you say ducking? Quack, quack, duck lips, quack, quack.
Lipiano duckling.
Lipiano. Lipiano McDuck. Lipiano McDuck lips.
So anyway, I accept any debate challenge. In fact, if you're gone at DebateCon, Duck Muslim, I will happily arrange any other time and debate the topic with you. I will debate with you. Is Islam? In fact, I
want DebateCon, man.
In fact,
let's do it at DebateCon. I'm
Since
just saying that because
James
has trouble getting some Muslims. So since this guy definitely wants to debate, let's do it at DebateCon.
Since you're rejecting again,
since you're running.
I now add more topics here. I want to debate with you. 1, is Islam true? 2, was Muhammad a true prophet? And then 3, with David and me against you and some other clown, whatever topic you like. Okay, there you go, duckling. There you go, ducky boy, lippy ducky. Abu Baker, deeply concerned about how the official narrative is that the IDF is holding up food and supplies to Gaza. UN even admits two-thirds of the aid is stolen. Well, what are you gonna do? Mr. Science, my Muta wife asked me to take her somewhere she's never been before. I said, okay, how about the kitchen? Bro said, W profile picture. What's wrong with you? That's shirts with Al Zoot on them. David loves it. Fatwa, both these guys are Oxford educated. Let that sink in.
Yeah. Douglas Murray, Oxford educated. Mohammed Hijab, Oxford educated.
Well,
This should stick for Daniel. Daniel, pick and choose.
Lloyd says, I'll give Daniel I pick and choose some credit for sort of taking on the Islamic dilemma because it looks like no Muslim wants to go near it. But the only good point he had of the whole night was that papyrus is a boomer font. Papyrus.
Yeah.
It is.
My PowerPoint had papyrus font on it.
It is.
And Daniel complained about that.
The new Donkey Kong game reminds me of Hijab.
The original Donkey Kong game reminds me of Hijab.
Yeah. At the Ohio State Conference, what do y'all do in the free time? Karaoke, bowling, frisbee, golf, all of them. How did y'all apologists hang out? And did Daniel Hikikich join? Yes, we all did together.
No, he
karaoke,
kind of
bowling and frisbee.
He kind of bolted real quick, afterwards. But no, there was no.
Really?
I had no free time. Right. I
Didn't
got there, started working on. I had presentations to do, but when I wasn't presenting, I was like working on an opening statement.
He didn't stick around and talk to people.
Who? No. Well, not. I mean, he may have, but not that I saw. And then when I looked around for him, he was gone.
Very loserly. We need AI video of the Moses and Stone Hadith. We do. No, we don't. Isn't Palestine the emperor from Star Wars? Yes.
Yeah, Emperor of Palestine.
But Magic Jew, but hey, what's up,
That's
man?
fine.
What's up, you brother in Christ? Good to see you here. Magic Jew blood. Oh, to be a fly on that wall. To all the Muslims in the chat, come back to the Lord Jesus Christ. You are still loved, and you still have time. Repent, repent, repent. The narrow door is not yet closed. Very super based. Super based. Paul, just wanted to say, I just realized that Allah made Moses expose his staff to kids in the Moses and the clothes stealing stone miracle. Brother, ooh. I still have never really looked into that story. I never really interacted with that story. Well, we can obviously tell, says Dahmer's friend, that Mimi hasn't taken David Wood's kind video to heart. He actually has said, look at that psycho, thinking he can advise me. Ali, hold your God's Zum water. Mr. Science, all of Muslims' lying behavior can be explained by their ends justify the means philosophy.
That is. Yeah, guys. So, and it's
true.
Like for these guys, when they lie in dawah, in their minds, it's, hey, if I tell you 1,000 lies and my 1,000 lies convince you to believe in this religion, well, you spend eternity deflowering virgins. So have I harmed you? So therefore, all my lies are completely justified.
Have I ever harmed you?
There we go. Dude, that was hilarious. Where'd that go?
The judge is on Elon Musk's
You
payroll.
see, Elon Musk, he paid the judge billions of dollars to say these things about me. I told you it was going to happen. I told you Elon was coming after me because of my powerful dawah.
Attack Dog said, I could listen to David Wood and AP's Hijab impression all day. Of all of Muslims' lying behavior, we already read this. What's wrong with you? Apostate of Allah, did you guys see the reply Mimi sent to Murray saying basically you're taking credit for your lawyer's hard work when Murray posted about his win? Sounded like he was big, mad, and jealous.
That's funny.
Did he do that?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Murray's like, haha, we won. He's like, you're taking credit for your lawyer's hard work. His lawyer's hard work and what? Exposing you as a complete liar?
Yeah, I mean, if I won the case against you, I would indeed credit my lawyer. What exactly is wrong with that? That's the point.
Yeah, and what? Like Douglas Murray's supposed to be quiet because he's not supposed to say, yeah, we won the case. Yay. He's just, because your lawyer did the work. What an idiot, man. He just whines about everything.
Dummy. Douglas Murray. Where's Douglas Murray? Douglas Murray. I'm still very proud that Douglas Murray follows me.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. He should follow you. He should be following.
He should be following
less-based people.
He should be following the Al-Zut. See, it says follows you. You see? Ha ha. Yeah, did he post anything about this? Let's see. Yeah, of course, Mohammed remains the most popular boy's name in the UK, but why might Yahya have entered the top names for newborn Brits in the past year? Really? The most popular names for children born in England and Wales in 2024 have been released, with Athena and Yahya making it into the top 100 for the first time. because of Yahya Sinwar. Because there are lots of terrorists in the UK. That's why. There are lots of terrorists in the UK who like to use the name Yahya Sinwar for their newborn children because of Yahya Sinwar, because they're terrorists. No offense to terrorists. I do want to. Yes, Athena. What? Yes. Yes. Here's Nikos Katsilas. Here's a Greek guy getting really excited to hear Athena.
You see?
The Greeks are taking over.
Greek paganism is taking over.
Oh,
This is
yes.
the
proof. Let's get back to the court case. There is something very funny here, which I want to read. Now, once again, the primary reason, the primary purpose of this court case here, of this lawsuit here, is Mohammed Hijab wants to accuse the Spectator and Douglas Murray of defaming him, and then wants to get money from them. He claims that the defamation cost him income, cost him money, so he wants money.
He needs muta money.
I want muta money.
I need my muta money. I need my muta money.
My secret hotel wives. How can I feed
Hotels aren't free unless you swim across the ocean.
I have to get baby food for my wife.
I have to pay for nursery school for my wife. Well, I'm not banging her. She's in nursery school. It's not free. What a religion, man. Oh, boy.
Financial losses. The messages which the claimant relied on to show the withdrawal of funding arrangements have the appearance of being contrived for the purpose of these proceedings.
Shocker. Translation, that means that when he says, oh, I lost money from this, they said, oh, this article in the Spectator, because of this, we can't pay you for this deal. And the judge is saying, this looks awfully like something that you made specifically for this lawsuit.
I want to translate even further. Mohammed Hijab goes to court and says, look, the defamation against me cost me money because funding arrangements, sponsors canceled their sponsorships with me because of this defamation coming from the Spectator and Douglas Murray. And you want evidence of that? Oh yeah, here's the evidence. Look,
Yes.
Let me show you the evidence of messages sent by my sponsors to me, showing that they don't want to work with me anymore because of this article.
Yeah, and it says, and I quote, hello, Mohammed Hijab. I am a person who doesn't know you. I am Ali Dawa, and I would like to pay you $1 billion to promote my channel. And then like a week later, oh, Mohammed Hijab, even though I was going to pay you $1 billion to promote my channel and my prayer rugs, because of this article in the Spectator and its horrible claims about you that are false and misleading, I have decided not to pay you $1 billion. It would be a shame if this came up in court and the Spectator was forced to pay you for these lost $1 billion wages. That was basically it.
And what the judge is saying here is, when Mohammed Hijab brings evidence of these communications of sponsors supposedly canceling because of this, these pieces of evidence, these communications seem to have been deliberately created deceptively just for this case here.
Hey. And just to be clear, they could have made them look realistic. Hey, Mohammed, how you doing? We just got some news, man. There's a sponsorship. We'd be happy to pay you, blah, blah, blah. Instead, Mr. Mohammed Hijab, because of your Mr. Mohammed Hijab, which is not how they talk to him. We would like to pay you for your powerful dawah.
So what the court is saying is that he fabricated evidence.
Mm-hmm.
In two instances, they are addressed as Dear Mr. Hijab when the correspondents were well known to the claimant and addressed him in other contemporaneous contexts in altogether more natural and less formal terms.
Mm-hmm.
So what the judge is saying here is these were people that he knows, that are close to him, who normally address him like with, hey brother, hey Hijab, hey. But in these communications that are used as evidence, they suspiciously and weirdly address him as Dear Mr. Hijab. Fabricated evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They each attribute their decision to dissociate from him to the article.
So they say, oh, we're not good. We wanted to have this brand deal with you, but now we take it back because of this article. It's so sad that you're losing so much income because of that article and because of Douglas Murray, the Hindutva.
They each provided the material that would be necessary to support a claim for financial losses occasioned by publication of the article, when one might not generally expect such detail to be provided in a communication that withdraws from nascent discussions.
In other words, the messages say, Mohammed Hijab, we were going to pay you this amount of money, but because of this article in the Spectator, we are not going to pay you this money. You would have gotten this money if not for that article.
Because of this article on the Spectator where Douglas Murray referred to you in, quote, such and such and such terms, and also referred to you in, quote, such and such terms, and also pointed out that you, quote, agitated the crowds. We can no longer pay you this money. Let this be noted. This was written on this and this date. And this is absolutely, completely on our own accord. And you did not instruct us to send this to you.
There's like tactical morons here. Like, this is as dumb as you can possibly get. They're the worst at this. You could have made that believable, and you don't. You just make it as dumb and idiotic as possible. Dude, think this is the same guy who he knows a scandal's about to come out. He knows he's about to get exposed for a scandal, and his story is Elon Musk sent a messenger to tell me he's about to frame me for a scandal. That's the level of tactical genius we're dealing with, and this is what they come up with. But guys, something important here, something serious. This isn't just Mohammed Hijab. It's other Muslims who run charities and so on. Yep. They are lying for him to help him deceive people and get money from them. So whatever charities or whatever businesses are named, you know these are run by liars who will lie.
And
in court, lie to courts.
We will actually get to them. They arrived from 3 separate organizations at roughly the same time, which was several weeks after the article, but very shortly before a letter of claim was sent. So this is just incredible, man. There is no way that this is a coincidence that several weeks after the article is written, these 3 organizations to whom Mohammed Hijab is closely related all suddenly come up with the idea, I think we want to cancel our arrangements with Mr. Hijab because we are offended over this one article. And then immediately after that, he files the case. Mm-hmm. The claimant recognized the implausibility that this was all a coincidence. His explanation, which in isolation may have been
that's him. He said, "Oh yeah, it seems implausible."
Was that the decision makers for the 3 organizations knew one another and were likely to have consulted with each other, and that this is why the decisions were made at about the same time.
Yeah, so you're saying, oh, these guys, the reason they all sent it at the same time is because they were probably talking and saying, hey, guys, we were really going to fund Mohammed Hijab with piles of money, but, here's
the problem.
Because of that Spectator article, we really can't do it anymore.
Here's the problem. These guys don't just know each other. They also know Mohammed Hijab.
Ooh. Hey, by the way, AP, what are the odds that someone would be like, hey, I want someone to promote our business or product or charity or something like that. Let's get Mohammed Hijab. And then after an article. So keep in mind, what bothered them was not Mohammed Hijab and Sneeko, promoting having sex with children. It's not him defending lying or taking secret second wives. None of that was the problem. It's not sending us messages about golden showers or threatening people's wives with, graping them and torturing them. And so none of that. It's just this one article. That's where they drew the line. This article, like, seriously, dude, seriously, you idiots.
Absolute imbeciles. Absolute imbeciles. So from here you can see how these people are all together liars, deceivers.
Just like the 75 guys in that Dawa group, the whole batch of them. It's all of Dawa, guys. It's all of Dawa. And apparently, like charities and businesses, it's just they believe in lying to win victories over the kuffar. I don't know how much more obvious it can possibly be made.
So the supporting evidence was unsatisfactory. There was no disclosure of contracts, receipts, accounts, or payments. Statements from Mr. Wasway of Nature's liar number 1, and Mr. Rahman of
liar,
and Mr. Hussein of Salam,
liar.
Here's what's very funny. Salam is an organization that Mohammed Hijab actively in the past was part of, that is also seen on many of his old videos.
Hey, what's next? And the Sapiens Institute,
with which he has no connection whatsoever,
was going to promote him. hey, this is like Mohammed Hijab posting his video attacking his ex-mutta wife, and then saying he has no connection to the channel, even though he said, yeah, I'm about to post it on this channel. This is like the dumbest guy ever, man, on this kind of stuff.
I'm going to show you Salam now. I'm going to show you Salami.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to show you Salami. Here is Salam. Salam, this is the Salam channel.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on the videos of the Salam channel, what you will see here is none other than Ali Dawa, Muhammad's best friend.
That's a weird coincidence. Top videos were Ali Dawa. Oh, look, is that Smiles to Jenna?
Smiles to Jenna, the grapist.
The grapist. The guy who graped Ali Dawa in the mouth.
Yeah, or graped him during a live stream. Yeah.
Look, it's wow. Look at this. Ali Dawa. It's all Mohammed Hijab's best friends. What a shocker. Are you kidding me? This is how stupid they are.
If you search the channel for Mohammed Hijab, you will also find Mohammed Hijab speaking here.
That's weird. So they know him well. They know. Look, they've done multiple videos with him.
In fact, they were also present, and he was doing it on behalf of Salam when he debated you, David.
Interesting. They seem to know him well. Isn't this strange?
Isn't this
that they're going to address him as, attention, Mr. Mohammed Hijab. We would like to pay you millions of dollars.
Imagine being so stupid.
This is how dumb these guys are, man.
That you actually, I'm pretty sure that he played a role in even setting up this organization, Salam. I think Ali Dawa is like a co-founder of this organization, by the way. So imagine using this organization and sending a message to himself as, dear Mr. Hijab, and using this in front of a court.
This guy went to court using this as his evidence for why the Spectator and Douglas Murray need to pay him piles of money.
I don't know, man. Isn't there a crime or something somewhere here?
If not, then there should be.
Isn't there a crime somewhere here of what's it called? When you fabricate?
Yeah, fraud. It should be some sort of fraud.
He was trying to use false fabricated evidence in order to defraud other people in front of a court. Pretty sure there should be a crime here somewhere. Each statement apparently supported the claim of dissociation from the claimant as a result of the article. Up until the pre-trial review, it was anticipated that these witnesses would give evidence. At the pre-trial review, it was said that the court's permission would be sought for Mr. Wasway to give its evidence remotely and from outside the court's jurisdiction. Some days later, it was suggested that the court's permission would be sought for Mr. Rahman to give his evidence remotely and from the court's jurisdiction. The first defendant then served further disclosure which related to Mr. Wasway's evidence. The following day, the claimant served a hearsay notice in respect of Mr. Wasway's evidence. Under Section 2, it was said that he would not be called as a witness because of a pre-existing mental health condition.
Yeah, well, I can grant him that. These guys all have a mental health condition.
No medical evidence was provided.
Oh, well, I can verify it.
I acceded to a contested application made by the first defendant for a witness summons so that it could call Mr. Westway to be cross-examined on a statement pursuant to CPR 33.4. So one of the witnesses here, Nature's Blends, was supposed to give evidence, but then couldn't give evidence because he had pre-existing mental health conditions for which no medical evidence was provided. These guys are all liars.
You think?
They are all liars.
If only someone had warned them that these guys were all liars.
Then they bring him in. In cross-examination, Mr. Westway accepted that he has been convicted on his plea of offenses of dishonesty, causing staged road traffic accidents to secure compensation on a false...
This guy's a professional scam artist. He's a scam artist.
He brings actually a scammer in front of a court as evidence, as witness.
Guys, keep in mind, he brings a witness. This is his witness who's testifying. Yep, I was going to pay him tons of money, but because of that Spectator article, they looked this guy up. Haven't you been convicted for staging a road traffic accidents to get paid? This guy went to prison. This guy went to prison for staging accidents. And this is Mohammed Hijab's key witness in his defamation case. Oh my goodness.
Then comes Mr. Rahman from One Ummah. In the event, in an apparent breach of the witness summons, he did not attend court. It was said that this was due to a medical emergency.
I had to pee really bad.
I had to pee quickly. That's why I couldn't attend court. It was also said that he had been in the jurisdiction for the first day of the trial, but was now outside the jurisdiction in Egypt.
Sorry, I'm outside the country.
Sorry, I had to quickly go to Egypt.
Like Orthodox lips Muslim.
Sorry, I had to quickly pee in Egypt. Further, it is difficult to credit Mr. Rahman's evidence that the article caused One Ummah to dissociate from the claimant. There are messages between Mr. Rahman and the claimant, Mohammed Hijab, well after the publication of the article, in which they are obviously on good terms. And Mr. Rahman praises the claimant and discusses a contract. Wow, man. You dumb imbeciles. Absolutely dumb, lying, scammer imbeciles. Further, there is evidence that the claimant did assist One Ummah with fundraising promotional videos in March, June 2024, and January 2025. It was
so recently, this year.
Of these videos that was said.
Yeah. So, guys, just keep in mind, they've got, yes, there's this letter of why we can't work with Mohammed Hijab because of the Spectator article. And they're going, you did work with him.
As to Salam, no evidence was called from Amir Ahmed, who wrote the email in November 2022, or from brother Amir and other guys in the Shura who apparently made the underlying decision. Nor was evidence given by Mr. Dawa.
Hey, who's Mr. Dawa?
Who was a close associate of the claimant. Ali Dawa didn't even bother going to court and giving evidence.
Ali Dawa didn't loyal to the end, except in this trial. That was too much for him.
Brother, please, I can't. It's a court. It's very serious people. He's not going to believe me. He's not going to believe me.
I mean, seriously, like completely seriously, it's probably Mohammed Hijab. You are destroying our lives with the whole Sister Aisha scandal. And I lied for you back then. What happened? I got exposed for my secret wife. That's what happened with Ali Dawa. So Ali Dawa lies for Mohammed Hijab. And then what happens? They investigate him, and turns out he's doing the secret second wife thing too. And then Ali Dawa is like, look, man, I'm not. AP, seriously, think about this. Hijab is getting everyone around him to lie for him, and it's destroying their credibility as well. Like, they're being exposed as liars too. It's like, what level of narcissist do you have to be that you are willing to destroy your closest friends and the Dawa scene and the Ummah if necessary, all for yourself? This dude is scum, man.
Salam. I really wonder who this guy is. I was wondering if for a second if this is Smile to Jannah, but it's not. Salam Zishan Hussein. Instead, evidence was given by Zishan Hussein, who is Salam's operations manager. He started working for Salam in January 2025. He was not therefore in post at the time of the decision to dissociate from the claimant and is not able to give direct evidence about that. Although he purported to give evidence about it, he did not provide any underlying documents to support what he said, and he did not identify the sources of his information. Another liar, whoever this is, who colludes with Mohammed Hijab to lie about things. These guys are so retarded, collectively dishonest and retarded. I don't know what else to say. Let's see. So his main star witness was a scammer. Others went to Egypt. Somebody had to quickly pee in Egypt, which is why he could not attend court. So, that was the same guy actually. Hindutva. What else is there? We got the truth. Yeah, we got the truth in it, mate. We got the truth.
Hey, I'll take a couple super chats. I just need to make sure the nurse showed up at 10.
Arctic Base that Mohammed Hijab belongs in a zoo among the hippos, gorillas, and kangaroos. I know that's why he was discussing whether when he's reincarnated he should be a gorilla or a bear. That was the whole point, probably. I don't know. Drew Trevor, if Douglas Murray can prove Mojab was just harassing him to waste his time and money in a lawsuit, he could be compensated due to a frivolous lawsuit, vexatious litigation. He should. I think if there is a case to be made, they should counter-sue him or something. I don't really know how it works, but they should really do something about this, because it's very clear that he was using fraudulent means to get money out of them and to find them guilty in front of a court. He should be held accountable for that. Moshka, my baby woke up from my laughter. That judge is bomb. Dynamite. That's good. He killed me. Zeke. Off topic. God is an irreducible complexity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, similar to the dimension we exist in, made of 3 parts. I wouldn't compare anything to anything, but I'll leave this to David to comment on. Bring him young. Please check email from Staying Alive. I will check it out. We'll make a note here. The Samurai Hobbit. The only Europeans putting their foot down when it comes to the Muslims are the Slavs, including Russia. I can't believe I'm defending Russia. Russia? I'm sorry. I have to strongly disagree with you here. I think Russia is worse when it comes to Muslims than Sweden, worse than the UK, worse than France, worse than Germany, worse than the Netherlands, worse than Belgium, worse than Austria, worse than any of these. Russia is doing a horrible job. Russia sucks up to Muslims. In fact, if Putin didn't have the shame, he would probably get on his knees for the Muslims, for the Islamists. That's what Russia does. Russia is anything but strong, anything but defensive. Russia is a complete sellout, especially with Putin. In Russia, you cannot insult the Quran. You cannot insult Islam. You cannot offend Islam. In Russia, if you offend Muslims, if you offend Islam, you will go to prison. You will pay money. And you will probably be beat up in prison. And it will be justified. In Russia, the capital city is full with Muslims praying across multiple different roads and streets, in making you unable to pass by on Ramadan. In Russia, there are no conservative values. In Russia, there are no Christian values. In Russia, there are only Christian values when talking to the international public. There are no Christian values when talking to Russians. Russians themselves don't really care much about Christian values. Russians themselves don't like Russia. Russians themselves want to leave Russia. Russia is a horrible place. And Putin is a horrible, horrible person. Russia is very, very bad. So please, please, I'm not sure where you're getting this from, but do not fall for any propaganda that Russia is in any way better than these Western European countries. If you think that Western Europe is bad when it comes to Islam, you should know that Russia is worse. If you think that getting detained for burning a Quran is bad, or getting detained for saying bad things about Islam is bad, you should know that Russia is worse. In Russia, you will go to prison and get beaten up. Russia is bad. Russia is not good and is not a good example. It's all simply propaganda.
What about the U.S.?
The U.S. is beast. Russia is also waging the cruelest war that we have seen in decades, in nearly a century. A war that is significantly worse than anything that you have heard from Israel. If things that people say about Israel were true, even if everything people say about Israel and their war in Gaza were true, even if they were true, Russia would still be significantly worse in the war that they are waging against Ukraine. The horrible atrocities against civilian human beings, the horrible atrocities against children, and so on. In fact, much of the online propaganda against Israel and other things might be engineered by Russia because it serves their purpose that people don't talk about Russia, but talk about Israel instead, so that Russia can continue dropping bombs on civilian buildings, leveling them completely without any excuse, without any reasoning, while abducting thousands of children to re-educate them and adopt them into Russian families. Russia is horrible, absolutely horrible. And if you at any point were fooled into believing that Russia is actually the good guy in any of this, you have fallen victim to paid Russian propaganda. And I do not care about the whole MAGA Trump versus Democrats conversation at all. I do not care at all. This has nothing to do with any of that. Russia is absolutely evil. Putin is absolutely evil. Do not come with Russian propaganda.
Well, that leads to an obvious question. If Russia's so bad, why does Tucker Carlson love it so much? Explain that.
Because he loves money.
Oh, well, there's that. Did you know they have grocery stores in Russia?
Did you know in Russia I can go to a store and I pay very little money to get a bunch of groceries, and they have these shopping carts, and you put a coin in there, and then you get the card out.
Imagine that.
And to put the card back there, you have to remove your coin. I'm sorry. You're gonna get me riled up if you talk good stuff about Russia. Zeke. David, here's a comment for you. You can comment on this because I don't want to. Zeke. Off topic. God is an irreducible complexity. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, similar to the dimension we exist in, made of 3 parts. Thank you. Austin says, "Is hating dogs a Muslim thing?"
Hang on, sorry. Right when you were talking about Russia, message from Black Angel about article. The West should learn from Russia to accept Muslim refugees. Your hero, Patriarch Kirill. Pretty interesting. What are you doing?
Gonna go in very dangerous territory if you make me talk about that.
Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Just drink your vitamin water, your Zam water.
Very dangerous territory right there. Yes, hating dogs is an Islamic thing. It is very, very much an Islamic thing. It is not accepted in Muslim culture throughout most of Muslim morality and jurisdiction to own dogs or to get near dogs or to touch dogs and all that, because Muhammad hated dogs.
Yeah, so So, guys, the story, according to the Muslim sources, goes something like this. I'll keep it short. Muhammad was supposed to meet with the angel Gabriel, aka Diha al-Kalbi, one day, didn't show up. And so Muhammad's all butthurt, not as he was with the men of Al-Zut, but, metaphorically, he was butthurt. And so he's wondering why Diha didn't show up, aka the angel Gabriel. And then he found out there's a puppy in his house. There's a puppy hiding in his house. And so he blamed the puppy and then said, kill all dogs. And so his followers started going around massacring all dogs, and even the dogs of the Bedouins and stuff like that. They would massacre them. Eventually his followers started whining and complaining, but we have hunting dogs and so on. So he allowed dogs for a couple of purposes, specifically like trained animals for like a hunting context or something like that. But a dog as a pet, there's no concept of that, at least in the Sunni Islam sources. So a dog as a pet is like an abomination. And so you have a pet dog around them and stuff. Yep, they want that thing dead.
You see. And look here, HJC. I literally just said it. Before you even brought it up, I just said
Why'd you have to start talking about Russia, man? Why
just
do
said it? None of this has anything to do with America, with MAGA, with the Republicans, with Democrats. None of this has anything to do with any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do not care. None of this has anything to do with any of that. So stop with your brainless, stupid BS takes. You are probably an American yourself, which is why you see everything from a limited, left, right, America versus lens. Stop looking at it like that. I never look at things like that. And I will say it here one more time. I do not care about Donald Trump. I do not care about Republicans. I do not care about the geopolitics in question. Russia, Putin, specifically Putin's Russia, is an imperialist, irredentist, inhuman, anti-human ideology. Russia, under Putin's leadership, is absolutely evil.
Or even before that. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and say it. If I were from Mars, I would still think Putin is absolute garbage and that Russia sucks. In case that's not clear enough for you.
And in fact, I'm going to say even further. If you are here, I don't care at all who is going to be offended. Even if every single viewer here was pro-Russia, I would say it again. If you are here and you think, but I love Russia.
But I love Putin. He's my hero. He's so based. Why can't the whole world be Putin?
Zelensky is global.
Yes. He rides around on a horse with his shirt off.
Because Zelensky
how can
is
he
a
be
liberal
bad?
and
How can he be bad?
anti-globalism. That's what
He's
my mom
basically
told
like
me.
Ivan Drago.
And if you don't agree with me, then you are wrong. I
Russia.
will tell you, hit the unsubscribe button, hit the dislike button, close the tab, go watch some other dumb thing. I do not care. Just get the hell out of here.
You just called your own show dumb. You said go watch some other dumb thing.
It's all dumb.
So anyway, we hope that clarifies our position on Russia and Putin for everyone.
Yeah. Putin is a scumbag, and he did exactly what Hitler did when he started his war against Poland. And that's not even an exaggeration. Usually people exaggerate when they compare stuff to Hitler. Putin literally did the very same tactics when he declared war in Ukraine. He falsely accused Ukraine of oppressing and massacring and genociding ethnic Russians, which Hitler did when he invaded Poland. He accused them of genociding and massacring Germans. Never happened. Proven completely false. Same thing with Ukraine. Proven completely false. He made claims about their illegitimacy as a people. He called them actual Russians who were never a separate people. He made all kinds of false assessments. He lied about the West. He lied about NATO. He lied about all of this. He falsely claimed that there was a NATO agreement never to expand eastward, and that NATO disregarded it and broke this agreement. To this day, no single person has ever been able to prove or has ever been able to document or name what exactly that agreement is, because it does not exist. And so on. So please get out of here. Get out of here. Astaghfirullah, how dare you destroy Islam? This is true. Very, very true. AP, has David learned what confirm means? So I bet Daniel Hikikachu still thinks David Wood is deficient in the English language like Dr. Murray.
Yep,
David, have you learned what confirm means?
Well, according to Daniel Hikikachu, it kind of means whatever you want it to mean, whatever's going to be convenient at some point.
You see? Talk for a minute.
Why? Who you messaging? I'll just take super chats, man. Hang on, let me pull these up.
Okay, no. Meta step, old saying from the meetings I used to go to. If you aren't humble, you'll be humiliated. Hijab is the perfect example. That's good. Especially in court. Even if you wanted to be hostile and aggressive towards the person you're suing, you don't do that crap with the judge. You do not pull that with the judge. And if you're going to tell a bunch of lies, kind of make them hard to detect and not like so easy. I don't know. You don't want to be dumb. You don't want to be dumb if you go to court. You don't want to be dumb. If you're dumb, just leave it to the lawyer. Leave it to your lawyer. Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Don't be a stupid idiot. Don't be a stupid head. What's great is that this opinion this opinion by this judge will be on record forever for our amusement. Yeah, just like all the stuff with Hijab's hotel life and stuff like that. It's all this guy's building up quite the reputation and quite the arsenal of ammunition against himself. All him to Allah. And by the way, I mean, think about this. He tries to sue someone in the future. This can all be brought in. This can be brought in. Like, is this guy trustworthy? Here's what happened in the last case. In other words, Mohammed Hijab, have you ever been deemed a liar by a judge in another case and, shown to be conspiring? Has that ever happened? Yeah. I don't remember. What's a van? I don't remember. I don't know if that ever happened. Okay, let's just read this to you. Svetlana says, this is the same thing that the Islamists from Gaza do. You just did that to Russia. I'm sorry that if you're Russian yourself, Svetlana, but no, what Israel usually does not senselessly drop massive bombs on regular apartment buildings in the middle of Kyiv and then just brag about it. For example, Israel does drop bombs on buildings after massive announcements over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to evacuate the freaking place because it will be bombed and to get out of there, to leave, which unfortunately the population usually does not do because the reasoning is very clear. It is part of the war zone and we are clearing it out. No, we are not negotiating. We are not discussing. It will be bombed. Get out there, go to a safe zone. What Russia does, on the other hand, and Israel has to do that because in Israel's case, we're dealing with a Hamas terrorist organization, which establishes underground tunnels specifically under the civilian population by their own admission. There is no underground terrorist organization in Ukraine. Putin deliberately drops ammunition on large apartment buildings without any prior announcement in the middle of densely populated civilian cities and kills dozens of people in his strikes. And later on, they brag about how many people they have killed already. It is indeed a garbage country, that Russia, with a garbage leader. Hope my Tajweed was on point on that one. 2 years ago. That's not something new. That's not even after this war. You could have asked me 20 years ago. You could have asked a 7-year-old D. Wood back when it was the Soviet Union. Hey, what do you think of that place? Garbage country with garbage leaders. You know what's 2 years ago, Russia's what was that? What? I was going to say something really nasty. Saying I saw Red Dawn like 20 times when I was a kid. You think I'm going to like Russia after that? Come on. Some female dog in charge in Russia, on behalf of the government, openly bragged to the Russian population that they have, which was, by the way, an exaggeration, but this is what they like to do, brag that they have relocated 700,000 Ukrainian children into Russia. They bragged about this. They depicted this as an operation to supposedly help the people of Ukraine that the Ukrainian government cannot take care of. They bragged about supposedly taking 700,000 helpless Ukrainian children into Russia and having adopted many of the orphans into Russian families so that they can now be raised in a proper country. This is what Russia did. They bragged about it. This was part of making the people get used to what they are actually doing, abducting thousands of children and taking them to Russia in an attempt of cultural genocide right there. Russia openly admitted this, for which, by the way, there is an arrest warrant for her out because of open and clear admission to genocide and abduction and abuse of Ukrainian children and so on. This is a scumbag government, and how dare you come here and defend this?
Yeah, and tell us and get mad at us because we don't like it. You know what else they did? Then they shoot this guy Ivan Drago full of steroids, and he kills Apollo Creed in the ring. And then what happens? You think, oh, we're supposed to think they're the good guys just because by the end of the fight with Rocky, they're cheering Rocky, Rocky, Rocky? No, you're still evil. Anyway.
Yeah. Don't argue with me further about this. We're not going to talk about Russia now. In fact, maybe I should.
Yeah, you want to keep bringing up Russia? We can keep talking about it. We can talk about Russia all night long.
Maybe I should start making Russia live streams.
Yeah, we'll make a bunch of Russia videos.
Maybe I will start making anti-Russia live streams and their allies, such as Hamas, Islamic regime of Iran, Hezbollah, North Korea. We can talk about that too.
Yeah, their vodka sucks too.
Ortho Goose hails Ezra. The proof Goose sounds like Jews, just a different chain of narration. Douglas sends Mojab and Mobala. Duck and Goose.
Hey, quit talking about ducks. You're going to upset Libiano.
Yeah, Lipiano. And Dua Lipa. Mark H. Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. If your second wife starts acting up, threaten her next of kin.
Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. If your second wife starts acting up, threaten her next of kin. Classic D-word.
You guys don't blame Russian civilians for what the government does. Not everyone supports their government. I didn't blame the Russian civilians. I blame.
No. To be clear, there may be all sorts of nice, drunk Russian civilians and so on. But yeah, we're primarily thinking of like the government and stuff like that, and them shooting up dudes with steroids and then setting them to fight great Americans.
I would never generalize Russian civilians. I have met plenty of Russian people myself. Almost all of whom were asking me how they can get out of Russia and move to Europe.
That's what they want to do.
But I would not generalize them, despite the fact that the vast majority of them support the Putin government.
Yeah, that's good. And as Paulie pointed out in Rocky IV, we don't have to keep our people behind, keep them behind walls with machine guns. We don't have to do that. So, just to be clear.
You see, those who don't have the truth on their side have to resort to lying in order to make their case. You see this in Dawa and Palestinism. We do indeed. Alhamdulillah. Jimmy McCartney, Mohammed Hijab in court. If you want the truth, you can't handle the truth. Oh, man.
Yeah, Hijab's in court. What do you think of Douglas Murray and people like, they're urinating upon one another? That's what they do.
You see.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
I want to quickly go through some of the remnants of what we have in the court case here. Legal framework. I was unable to detect any significant issue of law between the parties. The general principles that apply to this case are clear and are not in dispute. The tort of defamation involves a publication that conveys a defamatory imputation concerning the claimant, which causes or is likely to cause serious harm to the claimant's reputation. It is a defense to show that the imputation is substantially true. Responsibility. Anyone who takes part, meaning, serious harm, truth, submissions. Where is the conclusion here? Responsibility for publication. The second defendant, meaning and reference.
It's all boring crap, man.
Judge 9.
We want conclusions.
89. The defendant's meaning seems to me fairly to reflect some of the meaning conveyed by the article, but it does not go quite far enough. Although I do not accept that the article quite conveys the meaning that the claimant stirred up a Muslim mob to violently target Hindus, it does go further than simply suggesting that the claimant ridiculed reincarnation. The early part of the article, talking about the disturbances between Muslims and Hindus, the section that refers to the claimant whipping up a mob, ridiculing reincarnation, and the section that immediately follows, soon both sides were accusing the other of attacking their places of worship. Crowds of hundreds faced off. All form part of a linked and coherent narrative. What is missing from the defendant's meaning is a recognition of that, and in particular recognition of the alleged consequences of the claimant's actions as conveyed by the article. I do not consider that the article suggests that the claimant directly and solely caused the events that followed, but it does suggest that his speech was inflammatory and that it exacerbated existing tensions between opposing groups that had already spilled over into public disorder. That is at the core of the defamatory imputation that is conveyed by the article. I do not consider that the article conveyed a distinct meaning as to whether those tensions were based on race or religion. I agree with the submission advanced by Mr. Henderson that there is no bright line between disparagement of Hindus as an ethnic group or as a religious group or as an ethno-religious group. The key point is that the article conveys that the claimant was a street agitator who was whipping up ill feeling by one community towards another in circumstances where tensions were already frayed and had spilled over into public disorder. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. It is unnecessary. I accept. There is no other credible evidence of damage to the claimant's reputation occasioned by the article. Oh yeah, here. This is funny. The claimant has not charged. Second, this is not the case. No reliance can be placed on the claimant's evidence. There is no other credible evidence. It is accordingly not necessary to address the truth defense, but I do so briefly for completeness. Wait, where does it end? Let me see.
Strike out.
The claim must be dismissed on the merits. It is not therefore necessary to address Mr. Callas's alternative argument that the claim should be struck out. I prefer not to do so. It is therefore outcome. The defendants are each responsible for the article, which conveys the following meaning. The claimant is a street agitator who has whipped up a mob on London streets, addressed an anti-Israel protest in inflammatory terms, and exacerbated frayed tensions which had already spilled over into a public disorder between Muslims and Hindu communities in Leicester. By whipping up his Muslim followers, including by ridiculing Hindus for their belief in reincarnation and describing Hindus as pathetic, weak, and cowardly, in comparison to whom he would rather be an animal. That meaning is a statement of fact which is defamatory of the claimant at common law. The publication has not caused and is not now likely to cause serious harm to the claimant's reputation. In any event, it is substantially true, and it is not materially inaccurate. The claims are accordingly dismissed.
Dismissed.
So the judge says,
dismissed.
Mohammed Hijab comes here to accuses the Spectator and Douglas Murray of defaming him. However, looking at the article and looking at all the evidence, we can conclude that the article was largely accurate in its description of what Mr. Mohammed Hijab did. Therefore, there is no serious defamation here. It is not blown out of proportion, and we can also not establish that there is serious harm here. Therefore, the case is dismissed.
Best judge on the planet. I challenge anyone to show me a greater judge besides Judge Judy.
Ya Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
I forgot about that sound. I just want to look at one line here one more time, and that is this here. I am satisfied that he lied on significant issues, with the consequence that his evidence overall is worthless.
And basically, so is he. That would have been funny if he said that.
The judge
I'm satisfied that he lied on significant issues, with the consequence that his evidence, much like his religion, is worthless, like his prophet.
The judge says that Mohammed Hijab is a liar and that his evidence is worthless. There you go. That's it. That's the judge. That's the case. That's the court case.
That's the mic drop right there.
All ham to Allah. Who was that? Somebody asked.
Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
That's the one and only.
That's Cenk Uygur.
That's a Turkish guy. That tells you all you need to know about Turkey and anyone who comes from there.
That's Cenk Uygur.
Christianity is based.
That is Alex O'Connor.
I'm your teacher, boy.
That's Mohammed Hijab.
Ya Muslim.
That's some goat.
But the people are retarded.
So I wasn't supposed to play this. I wasn't.
That's another goat.
I will choose the cow.
That's another goat.
They're all goats, but like in different ways.
Yeah.
You're hiding, boy. You're hiding. What? What's the problem? Liar! You're a liar, man. You're a liar. You're sick. You're sick.
We're proud of that.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Why stuttering?
I don't buy your Allah. How about no?
Get the hell out of here. What kind of Muslim are you? Imbecile.
You sick in the mind?
Man has
Down,
real
man.
problems. How
I
about you
tell
get
you,
to
just
the
leave there
meat?
watching Netflix.
I'm a medical doctor.
You're hiding.
I will choose
But
the
the
cow.
people
I'm your teacher, boy.
are retarded.
Israel is the
Christianity
Jewish state,
is based.
the greatest state of all.
So I just had to go through all my sounds because I haven't played them in a while. Dawood al-Gharqadi. That's a good name. Dawood al-Gharqadi. It would be funny if you told this honest Islamo-Nazi pedo-Jew that he's named after a Jew.
People thought about that. Matter of fact, no, Anthony was next in line when the second debate was shut down. But yeah, I think he was going to remark on his name, Daniel.
You know what's actually very remarkable about all of this? And you just brought this back to my mind. So Daniel, as Christians and Jews might know, is a significant prophet in the Bible. Daniel doesn't actually exist in Islam. So the name Daniel is entirely absent in Islamic scripture and Islamic tradition. However, it came into Islamic tradition occasionally, but is rarely ever referenced or rarely ever known or used through external sources known as the Israeliyat, through external sources taken from Jews and Christians, because it's a figure found in the Bible. So some Muslims will be aware that there was a prophet named Daniel, for example. That's what they say. Daniel Hakikachu happens to have a name that is of a biblical prophet. If you ask him, however, if Daniel is also a prophet recognized in Islam, he will have some explaining to do, because Daniel is not mentioned in any Islamic source. Muslims don't know anything about biblical figures. They don't know anything about Daniel. This is another very, very nice sign of the ignorance of Islam.
Yeah, but in defense of Islam on this point, not including Daniel, the main story that people are familiar with Daniel is Daniel in Lion's Den. But in Islam, they think that if they have a better story about Muhammad, they'll just stick with that one, and they have Muhammad in the Zut Den. So
I knew you were going to go.
You didn't know anything.
Oh man. Knows too much says, didn't Ellen Dershowitz threaten to sue Mojab? Yeah, he did. I wonder what happened to that. Ellen Dershowitz threatened to sue Mohammed Hijab because of his statements. I wonder what happened to that.
Should have done that, because it'd be funny if he does it and wins.
Tad M. If critical scholars don't take the hadith seriously, therefore Muslim popular arguments that all Quran variants are simply different roofs goes out the window and they're actual textual variants. Powerful. What do you say, David?
If critical scholars don't take the hadith seriously, Muslim popular arguments that all Quran variants are simply different ahrufs goes out the window, and they're actually. Oh, okay. So if you didn't have the hadith talking about the different ahrufs, then you would have no explanation for the textual variants and so on. Yeah, that would, you just be left with no explanation. But to be fair, the explanation doesn't work even with the hadiths about ahruf. You have contradictions in the different Qurans.
Oh, sorry, that was loud.
Yo, I see you looking at me. Want to learn more about Islam? We came to the right man. Baby, make me say
Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah.
I step in the scene, Kufi low, Toba dragon, voice deep like the east. Got the dower packing, talk bean, sweet sheen, slick with the pitch, saying Polygeni's peace while I plot on a switch. Zoom calls, fake Wallace, burner in the clutch. No ma, no plan, just a soft girl to touch. Tell her keep it hush, don't involve your dad. Quote her head teeth, make it sound not bad. She say you sure this legit? I'm not real slow, girl. This a hard, but did this, now let's go. Hotel room prayers, fake party glow. Then I vanish like gin, leave her out in the snow.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Say la ilaha.
Mohammed Hijab's new career after Dawa.
Baby, make me say la ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah.
Yo, ain't no contract, no doc, no chain on me. Just a voice and a vibe and some third-party deans say it's halal. Sis, don't stress, don't trip. Meanwhile, I'm preaching, plotting my next quick flip. Text at midnight, you up, then gone by dawn. Whole setup, cleaner than a Saudi lawn. No fam, no plan, just tricks and talk. And when she cry, I say fear God and walk. Yo, I made the system, hijab with a code. She begging for rights, I hate ghost mode. Got scholars in fear, got silence for, call it Sharia, but it's scam I taught.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha. Baby, make me say la ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah.
Now she go crying, try on the scene. I'm out here posting clips with my Dawa team. Swear on the Lord, then delete the proof. Twist the facts like I twist the truth. She crazy obsessed. I spin on the low while she's sitting with text that I hope won't show. Got voice notes, threats, got the shook too. I say it's all lies, they believe me too. But deep down, bruv, I know what's next. One day this whole game gonna cash that check. Till then I rock robes, give talks, play wise. While sisters like Aisha get fed more lies.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Make me say.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Make me say.
La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah.
Beautiful.
How you not gonna like announce the world premiere of your new song, man?
I don't know.
You just like randomly play your new song.
What do you think? You like it? Is it good?
It's pretty bass,
Not too bad, right?
Nope.
Yep. Good.
Do you want to be my hotel wife?
You want to be my hotel wife? AP, tennis for God, slapped it on a t-shirt. Woo-hoo, said Dama's friend. Yeah. Orthodox lips Muslim, a.k.a. lesbiano.
It's Lipsiano. Come on.
It's Dua Lipa, man. Jean-Michel says, Mimi Jihad want to convince you Momo was the first LGBTQ plus XYZ. Bible believing said, Orthodox, he's got a real pretty mouth, ain't he?
You never saw that movie, did you?
I haven't.
Don't watch it.
What is it? How does it go?
It's pretty much exactly like Preston County, West Virginia.
Terrible.
It's about some pretty disturbing hillbillies.
Bad. Susan leaving a super chat. Thank you so much. Bruce says, Zuck, gonna give it to you.
Don't give it to you.
Gonna give it to you. Mohammed, hold tight, pressure in the air, feeling just right. So gonna give it to you. Smooth but fight. I haven't listened to that song in like 50 years. So
it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Zachary Gelpi. Hey guys, I just had some bad news about my girlfriend being in intensive care. If you can, please pray for her. I would be grateful. You gentlemen are very God-fearing men, and I think it would go a long way with the big man upstairs.
Everyone who prays, you have a prayer request here from Zachary.
There you go. Born Slippy. Off topic, but there is this band Hate Beak, where a parrot is the singer and two guys in the band look just like AP and Dawood if they met in college. I don't believe you, because why would a parrot be a singer? How does it even make sense? I don't
Unless
believe
it's a
you.
Dawa band.
I don't buy it.
Oh, there's a band, Hate Beak.
Oh yeah, I see.
They do kind of. They could pass for us like years ago.
Nah, not really.
Not really.
It looks
But a
like
little
if we were.
American death metal band.
Oh, sometimes I like death metal. Like one day of the year.
Featuring Waldo, a gray parrot.
I'll check it out.
Hate Beak is reported to be the first band to have an avian vocalist.
Nice.
Oh.
Razi said, AP, I watched you chat with Charlie.
Hold up. I got to cry bull on that. First band with an avian vocalist? Have you not heard of a band called The Eagles?
Whoa. Razi, AP, I watched you chat with Charlie and you mentioned your siblings. So I wanted to ask if you still have any sort of a connection with them now. Yeah, I do. In fact, I talked to my sister on the phone just earlier today, so I do a little bit here and there.
Never heard of the Birds?
All ham to Allah.
Black Crows?
Apologia Center.
Counting Crows? What?
David, tell the folks that you will be in the Los Angeles area October 10th for our half-day conference.
Oh, great. Yeah. Anyone who wants to brutally assassinate me, I'll be at the Apologia Center's conference on October 10th. So perfect spot to brutally murder me in the name of Allah, to rescue your religion from all the stuff I've got planned.
There you go. If you want to kill David Wood, October 10th, Los Angeles.
Yeah, guys, October 10th, conference there. Check out Apologia Center for more.
Crazy Spider 17 says, guys, you should react to Channel 4 report on what happened in Soweto to the Druze. People need to know the horrible stuff that's going on there. Maybe this is what you can do, David, while I'm gone traveling. All ham to
it is good if it's actually on some news channels, because we see things on X and it's here's what's happening, and you're not sure if you can trust it or not. So it's good if there's some actual stories on it.
You see, ChatGPT, Jewish inventor of Cyclone B, sad story.
It's not Cyclone B. It's anyway.
Cyclone B. Wimperson says, quiet. Ezra. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. David, you made me laugh so hard when repeating that with Robert recently.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would say.
That's good. I find it funny when Daniel Kikichu kept referring to Robert Spencer as Richard Spencer during the debate.
It's a question of whether it was on purpose.
Mohammed Hijab lost a law al-Zut. Will he have to cross the Diddy line now?
It's not a lawsuit. It's a law.
Al-Zut.
Lawsuit.
Mr. Dawa should be a new Britcom show. Mr. Dawa.
Yeah.
And that's funny.
That is funny.
Brigham Young, Staying Alive, share with David. I just checked my emails and I don't see anything from Staying Alive. What are you talking about?
Oh, I got one. I haven't opened it yet, but I saw one about a picture of me on Staying Alive. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't had time to check all my email.
I don't see nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Imagine Lily J being that last Dawagandist left. That would be awesome. I haven't seen anything about what the whole Lily J fake thing is about.
You haven't seen that?
No, I've not.
Again, she's just she's sitting at a little outdoor cafe, just having lunch, being recorded from multiple camera angles for no reason, and a woman walks up to her and says something and throws a drink on her. And it was I kind of saw it. Me and Anthony were listening to it in the car, but DOC pointed out, like, hey, didn't throw it in her face, didn't throw it on her hair, kind of threw it on like her shirt or lap or something like that. And DOC was pointing out why, because women spend a lot of time on her hair. And so it was kind of, hey, don't mess up my hair when you throw this on me. And then she's like, do I need a bodyguard? Do I need a bodyguard? Like the fakest thing. It's more fake, more obviously staged than Sheikh Ibn Fibbin's fake hate crime. But it's like, I mean, think about this, guys. This is what you get when you have a bunch of narcissists competing for attention. They're going to compete for attention, and if they are just terrible people. They'll do whatever they need for attention, including faking things against themselves. So you brought this on yourselves. Get used to it. Everyone else is laughing at how obviously staged this is. And but of course, your fans, oh my goodness, shame. Yes, you need a bodyguard to protect you from a drink being thrown in you.
Ibn Fibn, who are you kidding? The Samurai Hobbit says, "Forgive my ignorance about Russia. I forgive you."
If you want to know about Russia, again, watch Rocky IV, watch Rocky IV, Red Dawn, and Red Heat. And you want to actually see a good Russian, watch Red Heat, and you'll see Arnold Schwarzenegger as one of the few good Russians, who's which is, it's got to be in a movie, right? Because it wouldn't work in real life. He's not even really Russian. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. Unique Petsu says Irish nationalists block Islamic parade in Dublin. Really? In Irish people do stuff like that?
I thought they would be like, yes, please conquer us.
Please, are you Palestinian by any chance? Because we love that kind of stuff.
Yes, they're beating us in the desert.
That's Wales, man.
Oh.
The Samurai Hobbit. Actually, the Ukrainians are technically the true Russians. Just look up the story of Czech, Lech, and the Rus. The Muscovy are the plagiarists. Well, I would say it's more complicated than that, but the Ukrainians are where the legacy of the Rus originally started, or where it became significant. The Kievan Rus. But yeah. To what it seems, no side is actually kind of like the real Russians. They're just different people who claim to be or who are thought to be descendants of the Rus. So for Russia or for Putin to say, "Oh, we are the Rus, and all others are also Russians," and all that, that's just big propaganda, you know.
It's funny when they're going to try and prove it, like prove who the true Russians are. And it's like, okay, we break out all bottles of vodka. We show you we drink more than you. No, we drink more. And then they just
they all pass out.
Yep, they all pass out, and then they wake up. Oh, who won? Oh, we don't know. Okay, we try again. Let's get vodka.
And then it turns out nobody actually is the true Russians because they all keep passing out.
Mm-hmm. There's no way to verify it. No way to verify it.
Eventually, they come up with the idea to set up a camera to keep track of who actually stays awake. Then they see that everyone eventually passes out, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we are all fake Russians." So, Coltrane. On another note, Muslim Spain being a multicultural paradise has been very clearly debunked. It didn't work. It never worked. Dario Fernandez Morera and Raymond Ibrahim have books on this nightmare Muslims would say showed cohesion and not coercion. Yeah. The Islamic Andalus did not work out. The Islamic Andalus was never a paradise. It was never a place of multiculturalism. It was never a place of tolerance. It wasn't. For a brief time after the takeover of the peninsula, there was a period where it is suggested that there was relative peace. But it didn't last very long. Foremost also because the Muslim leaders kept wanting to expand north and kept pushing the Visigoth population and the Christian population into a corner of the peninsula. And when things didn't work out, they took it out again after a while on those that helped them come on the peninsula, the Jews. Mr. Seuss, Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, and the Prophet of Allah proclaimed Bibi Netanyahu is Hindu too, but not Hindu.
Hey, they're right. Netanyahu isn't Hindu.
Yeah.
This is the proof.
See, I didn't lie. Arctic-based judge's conclusion: give Mr. Hijab an enema, and he can leave the courtroom in a matchbox. Powerful. Very, very powerful. V. Scott says, AP, did you ever get around to Patristic Nectar app? I downloaded it. I didn't check it out, though. That's what I can say about it. I downloaded it, but I haven't checked it out. But I opened it right now, and it looks pretty nice. Seems like a lot of stuff there. I will check it out. In fact, when I'm traveling, I'll check it out. Sketch therapy. Does the loser have to pay lawyers' fees? I think that there's a lot of costs incurred that Mohammed Nabil Hijab now has to take care of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know in certain cases, I don't know if the judge actually has to rule, because you see it in rulings, and the judge rules that he has to pay the other person's legal fees and so on. I don't know if that's standard in cases, and I don't know the UK. Let me see.
Mohammed Nabil Hijab. He probably has to do it now. Drew Traver, how good are you with AIAP? I would love to see a skit of Mojab getting roasted by Judge Judy with him Douglas Murray. I haven't extensively tried the video aspect of AI, not too much. I see that people are doing some really, really good stuff of like having babies sit down and talk to each other and stuff like that. It's very, very good. But I haven't really necessarily gone into all those circles. I have more gone into images, text, knowledge, music, and all that. I haven't checked out the video side of AI enough, I would say.
I just looked it up. It says, yes, in the UK, if a claimant loses a defamation lawsuit, they will generally be ordered to pay the defendant's legal fees. This is the standard. Costs follow the event principle in English law. However, there are exceptions and nuances to this rule, particularly in defamation cases. So there are exceptions. Oh, and it gives a bunch of different exceptions here. So I don't know if there is an exception here, but I have to point out something we didn't really talk about. It costs a lot of money. A big trial like this with investigations and stuff like that, that's a lot of money. Where's Hijab getting that money? Dawa donations. So he took all your Dawa donations, all you who send him money, took all your Dawa donations and used it to try for a money-making scheme and an attempt to silence Douglas Murray. Used all your Dawa donations that you sent him to fund this stupid, frivolous lawsuit and get a bunch of guys, like he probably paid these guys to lie for him and so on. So all that money, and apparently, unless there's an exception, all the legal fees and investigation and so on of Douglas Murray's team, your Dawa donations are going to cover that too. There's a guy who wouldn't even provide for his hotel wife and so on, but now he's spent a lot of money, lot of hard-earned Dawa bucks.
Very, very nice. That's how you do it, man. That's the game. That's the game. That's how you play the game. Dimer's friend says Winston Marshall had this named Thomas Small on to talk Drew. Small said that the whole thing is a hoax. Maybe watch with Mansoor and fight the lies. I'll check it out. Sketch therapy. Any chance Sam AP David Wood will speak on the provable historic roots of Islam as a synagogue of Baal Allah? Sam spoke so highly of David Wood. I was impressed. Sam does speak very highly of David Wood. He does.
Oh, you mean of Allah? Yeah, there is. I don't know how solid it is, but yeah, I have read that Allah was basically imported from Baal, basically. So you have Baal, and then they bring it to Arabia and becomes Allah with the Hijab.
Powerful. Christian Killen says, so you think Hijab is screwed?
He's not going to be taken seriously by non-Muslims who are at all familiar with him. But guess what? I've said this before. His fans are a bunch of brainwashed morons who, as long as he claims to be humiliating the kuffar, they don't care. They don't care they don't care if you're turning Muslim women into basically on the level of prostitutes. They don't care if you're treating them like that. They don't care if you're like, seriously, what do you think he's screwed here for? Now, if you're talking about money and stuff like that, yeah, he's going to have to pay piles of money. But what are his followers going to have a problem with? Him lying about Douglas Murray? You think they're going to have a problem with him lying and trying to defraud the entire, like, seriously, you think they'd have a problem with that? No. So the only way he'd be screwed with the Dawa, with his Dawa fans, is if he became such a liability that every time they bring him up, it's just massive humiliation, then but as long as they think they can still use him or he's still important, they'll keep cheering for him. And it's just absolutely pathetic. And long term, this just helps expose Islam and dawah.
Yeah, I found something. In fact, Sam sent me this because somebody just brought up Sam, or the chatter just brought up Sam. Sam sent me this, said, "Hey, look at this." So
I have to say this for the record. You know these dawah online Islamophobes, not the dawah, sorry, the Islamophobes that are engaged with the dawah crowd. I mean, guys, none of them are academics, really. Frankly, they're failed academics. And I'm being blunt here, not just because they're attacking me. Honestly, I really think we are exaggerating their importance far more. They're really a bunch of losers. Go look at their lifestyles. Go look at some of these are like they're convicted of beating their own fathers. One of the main guys attempted to murder his own father, went to jail, and he's one of the main guys that's on this Islamophobic industry. Others are complete failures. Look at
who's he talking about?
An average khatira I give has more views than some of their biggest videos. I mean, guys, calm down. Really, these people
are biggest videos
mentioned by name. That's why I don't mention them by name by and large. They're not even active.
I've got this on this dude on video mentioning by name, man.
Generally speaking, you find their discourse to be more nuanced and more precise. As for these people online, let them be. What do you expect them to do? They're not going to harm the deen, and
we're not
give them more attention than they deserve. But in any case,
has he not heard of the avalanche of apostasy? Hey, send me that clip. I want to post that clip. I'll just post the clip by itself.
I will.
Hey, hey, isn't that funny? Think about the reasoning here. Look these guys. Look at what they did. They don't. Dude, your prophet had sex with a 9-year-old girl. Following your same reason, we could just say, "Oh, he's not an academic." I do have a PhD, by the way, Sheikh Asrkati, far more degrees than your prophet ever had. But think about that. I mean, what he just said. This is why you can dismiss these guys. Okay, your prophet was illiterate, and he banged a little girl and killed all kinds of people, took the wife of his own adopted son and so on, following your exact same reasoning. This guy's morally reprehensible and not an academic, not at all. Therefore, don't take him seriously. Just ignore him. Following the reasoning? Could make a video about that.
So, yeah, here he is.
Hey, I have to say, I do like the fact that I was the first person he thought of.
Yeah, he thinks of you all the time, man. He goes to bed and is like,
rent-free.
Ya Allah, yeah, I'm trying not to think about him, but I keep thinking about David Wood. I don't want to mention his name because it gives me very bad thoughts and also very good thoughts.
Hey.
What?
To Sheikh Yasser Qadi and all the Muslims who say, just ignore them. I will quote the words of John Bender from the Breakfast Club when I say, Sweets, you can ignore me if you tried.
Yeah, I want to check out what the media says about Mohammed Hijab.
Oh yeah, I searched for it on Twitter. I didn't look at it on like random.
This is funny, man.
Mohammed.
This is funny. This is funny. Mohammed Hijab. The Spectator World, the Telegraph, the European Conservative, the Times, Jewish News. Yeah.
Jewish News. Hey, 5 pillars. Oh no, that's 2 weeks ago. Hang on. Let's see what 5 pillars said 2 weeks ago. His article, the 5 pillars articles from 2 weeks ago. Popular Muslim YouTuber Mohammed Hijab is pursuing a defamation lawsuit against The Spectator and its associate editor, Douglas Murray, over an article that accused him of exacerbating racial tensions during the 2022 Leicester riots. Hijab, blah, 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 blah. Come on. No, I'm not donating your stupid. Trying to see what they say. They're just describing it here.
A verdict will be released later this year. On his color, recently received an award from Israeli President Isaac.
The Jews love him.
Look at this. This is what Muslims do. And then they act like, oh, no, we're not doing this. We're just pointing it out. Look at this. In his column, Murray, who recently received an award from Israeli President Isaac Herzog for being a friend to the Jewish people, accused Hijab of cropping up in Leicester to whip up his followers. Why did they include this detail here?
Yeah. Murray, who recently received an award from Israeli President Isaac Herzog for being a friend to the Jewish people. That is
What
seriously,
in the world?
what does that have to do with it?
What in the world?
Except you know that your readers are Muslims.
What in the world does this have anything to do at all with the case in question? Nothing. But this Muslim publication, of course, which also loves Mohammed Hijab, has to point this out in order to tell the readers, oh, and by the way, his opponent, he's a friend to the Jews. Bad. Anyway, David, anything else? Any nothing else? Fantastic. All right, then I will believe that you are going to live tomorrow. You're going to go live tomorrow with Richard Spencer, I believe, right?
Yep,
Sorry,
that'll be
sorry,
8
Robert
o'clock p.m.
Spencer.
That'll be 8 o'clock p.m. this week in Jihad. I also, since Fareed,
I meant Robert Spencer, by the way. Sorry.
Since Fareed posted to Daniel that people should learn his responses to the Islamic dilemma, went through, named 2 videos. I also sent a message to Jai and DOC asking if they wanted to go through those, so if we can see what the real answers are that Daniel should have used.
But did you send a message to the Al-Zut? Sunil Inti says, update the title of the video to Mohammed Hijab loses defamation case against Douglas Murray, and we're proud of that.
That is a good point.
We're proud of that.
I shall do that. All right. With this, we will ride off into the night. Normal is overrated, says a limerick. The Quran claims to be oh so clear. Then why do they need the tafsir? It seems like a scam, but then this is Islam. Anyway, the Al-Zut made Muhammad quite queer. Nice. Douglas Murray is an honorary Jew. Ha, see? They're admitting it. They're admitting it now, you see. All right, thanks everybody for watching. I will not be live for a while. I'm going to be going on a trip to London. Anybody who wants to meet up in London, let me know. Get in touch with me. I also need somebody there in London. I need help in London. Anybody who is familiar with our stuff, wants to help me out during the time in London, help me with stuff. I'm going to be filming a bunch of things. Who wants to help me out would be very, very much appreciated. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at
hey, you're going to get
Prophet.com.
You're going to get a message, an email saying, this email account is in no way affiliated with Mohammed Hijab, but I am a Christian too, who would like to help you and aid you in defending the Trinity and stuff in the UK. Will gladly help you and show you around and show you some great alleys that we could go down.
And I would once again like to point out that I am absolutely not a Muslim and do not hereby intend to deceive you.
Hey, Red Letter says, David, you should go to London too. I'm banned from the country, Red Letter.
And I will be banned too after this.
Hopefully. Inshallah.
Inshallah. So, watch you back in London. I'm not scared of London. London should
better
be
tell the jihadis, to watch their back.
They should watch their back. They should watch their backs. All right. We'll be back soon. We'll be back soon. Until then, as always, have a fantastic day. And as the GOAT likes to say,
stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam.